And howdy. Welcome back to SciTrek, your sci-fi TV and movie channel. Welcome back, of course, to Stargate
Hello.
Outpost. Sarah, how are you?
I'm doing good. And you?
I'm doing pretty well, I guess. It's kind of all over the place, of course, as usual. Rainy out in LA, so I'm kind of happy today. It doesn't get that way too often, so
Yeah.
good day.
Mm-hmm.
David, Juliet, howdy, everybody.
Yep. Hello.
How's Seattle looking like right now, or Washington, I guess in general? Because Emerald City,
It's actually sunny today. I mean, it's
yeah,
been rainy, like cloudy, rainy yesterday, last night. So I guess maybe that moved down your way. I don't know.
I'll borrow the weather any day. Is Emerald City this weekend?
Yes,
Oh hell
Saturday.
yeah,
Yep.
okay, I thought so.
hmm
Y'all pumped?
Yeah, I'm excited. This will be my, my first. So I'll try
This
to
could be
take some video and, anyway, see if my
it'll
daughter will take
be
some pictures of me.
the nerdiest thing you've ever done, and you'll love it. And you'll love it.
No, I'm sure I will. I've been wanting to go to one like forever. There used to be when I was living in Sacramento, there was a Dragon Con every year that I always wanted to go to, but just never worked out. So
Dragon Cons now.
mm,
God, I'm trying to remember all of them. I think it's no, MegaCon's Orlando. I don't. One of them's Orlando. One of them, I think,
mm,
Dragon might be even like Atlanta now, something like that. I'm not sure.
yeah. I thought
Uh,
there was like kind of several different like Dragon Cons in different cities. Like I don't know. I'm
oh,
not
I mean,
sure if that's how it works. Maybe I don't know, but
I'm honestly not sure.
yeah, you
There's
know.
just so
Yeah.
many there, and they're all fun in their own ways.
Mhm.
It'd be fun to get all of us going to the different ones as often as we can, of course.
Mhm.
If we can make this September work, it's going to be so much fun.
Mhm.
Uh, but enough of our little housekeeping, hanging out for a second. Don't forget the one in Portland. What's the one in Portland?
Oh, wow.
That's one of the ones I feel like I should know. You're going to say the word and I'll remember it immediately. But enough of the Comic Cons because we'll be there and we'll be doing stuff at Comic Cons whenever we see them and whenever we can.
Mhm.
Right now, we talk Stargate. All the aliens of Stargate, actually, which is kind of fun. I've got
Mhm.
a Screen Rant and a Gate World article with both a bunch of different aliens. Of course, both says all 22 alien races, and some are just different versions of people and stuff like that. Others, Gate World has a much longer list than 22, and I think this is the one that we should probably try to go off of, but we'll start with the Screen Rant one because it's a little more visual. And
Right.
thank you, David. Uh, there goes a new banner. And
Mhm.
yeah, we will see as we go along which one is the easiest to jump back and forth between. Because this
Right.
is the way the Screen Rant one looks. So we can kind of just scroll through here and look at the different races, species, talk about them, and everything
Right.
like that. And then this one on Gate World is straight
Mhm.
up just
Just
A to Z.
everything, and sometimes there's like the same things on there, and there's a long list of like people of whatever planet. I don't think we care about, all the people
We
of
don't care about them.
whatever. We don't.
Yeah, the people
No,
of
but I'm just saying
177
they're just
to
like humans, basically. Yeah.
humans 2.0, humans 1.5, humans like
Yeah.
point
Mhm.
3, like all of them.
Mhm.
But yeah, we'll stick it on a Screen Rant then, just to keep it simple. Before we
Yeah.
jump in though, what are y'all's favorite aliens? Just popping off the top of your head. David jumped in with Unis, and the Unis.
Furling. No, I don't know.
If only give us our koala Ewoks.
I like the ancients.
Oh,
Yeah. Um,
I guess ancients still are aliens, aren't they? Because they did
mhm.
originate from a different galaxy.
Yeah.
Which hold up. Does that make us aliens as well? Does that make
Yeah.
humans alien, or does that mean
Yeah,
we are the actual?
we are a species of alien, I suppose you could say. I mean, maybe we don't,
Well, because we
Maybe
technically
alien
originated
is just whatever is different from ourselves, but I mean, in the universe, we are another alien race like any other, you know.
populating all these different planets and everything. Or we're not doing it. I guess we are doing it, but we're doing it through the guise of the Gould.
Yep.
Hey, Stanleys. And the Furlings, of course. If only we could have had them. Followed closely by the Nox. I really do like the Nox as well.
Oh yeah, they're not just kind of hippies, alien hippies, sort of.
Alien hippies that just kind of they're Vietnam War in it. They're like, hey, we're not gonna do anything.
Yeah.
Y'all hang out.
Yep.
Find some peace.
I
don't know if we ever found peace. I don't think we did. Or we wouldn't have much of a series. Why would the Nox not help during the Ori stuff? Because the Ori would anyway. That part kind of throws me off. I haven't ever actually thought about that till right there.
Well, it would have been nice if they would have circled back to him, but they never did. Well, I mean, I guess the one girl shows up later, but they don't really circle that much back to the Nox.
Yeah, it's just kind of like, it's not a nothing burger. It's just like, yes, they're one of the 5 important people that did things, and now we'll leave them in their own little corner.
Yeah. I mean, they seemed kind of up there with like Ancients almost, with the Cloud City or whatever that was.
It's straight up just Bespin, but better. Like, it was insane. I bet the Nox smoked some good stuff. Nox too good at hiding. Oh God. Howdy, Peter. They really are though. I don't understand not going back to them, especially with how, I guess, cheap is relative, but it's not like there was a whole bunch of costuming involved. It's kind of like gives you some glitter on the face, kind of paint you like a mime would be, kind of like pale white, and then
stick some twigs in your hair.
Twigs on your hair, like that's all you need. The Nox would have been so cool to see actually go back and get revisited, but
maybe
the Asgard
do a reboot. I know we don't want that, but maybe that, you know, just to probably put a silver lining, maybe they would take more time to explore some of that stuff, you know.
Like,
I don't know.
I don't want to even like start saying, the hard reboot. It's like,
cry.
But we get off the like air, and then we have a conversation. We're like, well, maybe a hard reboot would be fine, and not like actually like that, of course, but like we start having that thought process. We might as well have it on air. But I don't want Amazon to see us having these thought processes because we want a continuation. Amazon, But
would they do a thing like, if that happened, you know, could they bring back original cast as different characters? You know, like Battlestar Galactica did that with the one guy from the original, the 80s Battlestar Galactica was a different character in the new one.
Cool. Yeah. It would be a really cool thing to see. The thing with the hard reboot, though, if you're going to do a hard reboot, just make a new show. Make a new series that's an original IP is kind of my thought process there. At the same time, like, there's no...
I just don't know if people will be open to it. That's the problem, is that nobody is like... People, it's like, it's got to be exactly this or exactly that. It's like, why can't we just kind of take in what it is and, you know, without it, I don't know.
Yeah, and roll with it. Richard Hatch.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about with the Battlestar Galactica. It was Richard Hatch, He was Apollo or something in the original one, I think. And then
I know Battlestars are 2 that I need to be watching. That's going to be my in-betweens between Star Trek Journey and then Doctor Who Journey next year, which is going to be a lot. I didn't realize, I guess the guy was the same guy that played a Ferengi, because I am now familiar with the Ferengi. The first episode of Star Trek I fell asleep in.
It's Quark is the main Nox guy. That'll be when you get to DS9.
Okay, because I feel like I recognize Quark and something like that. But anyway, the Nox could have been done in a really cool way, and I feel like the reboot, if they did do a hard reboot, that would be one of the... There's so many really good avenues they could explore with the hard reboot. Like, just being honest, like, they could do it so well.
Yeah.
But also, why? Just make a new show if you're gonna do it.
Mm-hmm.
Who would Chris Judge be if he weren't Teal'c?
I don't know. He'd probably be some alien that was in makeup that you wouldn't even
Yeah,
recognize
at that
the
point.
name, probably.
Mm-hmm. Turn him into an actual Unis or something, the king of the
Mhm.
Unis, or
Right.
anything like that. Indeed.
Yeah.
Cal. They made such a point that Nox for pacifists that bring them in for the Ori would be counter. I get it.
They're so like, let's, be in tune with nature, and the Ori seems like they would be destroying that or whatever.
That's my thought process. Is like they've got to be the most pacifist things we've seen in the galaxy, obviously. But at the same time, when something threatens that pacifism, absolutely. Like the Goa'uld, as bad as they are, it wasn't like a peaceful time, but there was peace through power in in a bad kind of way, of course. But it wasn't like the atrocities were what they were after, I guess, SG-1 started fighting back, even because then things really got awry and they started, wringing out kind of people a little bit more than they were before, and so on and so forth. The Nox did help get Scar back. Great point. They weren't a big fan of the Goa'uld anyway, I guess, one way or another.
Right. They just want to keep to themselves. And
wouldn't the one group of people coming into the galaxy not allowing anyone to keep to themselves kind of piss them off a little bit?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a great point too, Cal. They said if the Goa'uld were to kill them, then so be it.
Right.
It's just
and it's just, how do you anyway? I suppose there's supposed to be this uber level of pacifist that even if the universe gets destroyed or themselves get destroyed, they're still not going to do anything.
It's the way nature intended it, or something like that.
Yeah. Which, anyway.
Maybe we're still we're just showing how young of a species we are right here.
Yeah. Because it seems like if you were around long enough, you would realize that, those that have the power usually always take it, and it's not usually that great for those that don't have it. So,
Monk said, I now totally want an evil Nox. I don't even know what it would look like, but I want it. I'm with you.
That would be great. Mirror Universe Nox. There we go.
Oh, yeah, honestly? Come on. Doesn't even die... doesn't even die...
Oh, he didn't die when he was supposed to, but...
Oh, okay.
I forget how he came back. Even I don't even remember. Oh, they got him into a. Oh, they put his dead body in a sarcophagus. That's what it is, and brought him back. Yeah.
Peter.
Which is SG-1's fault, because when he died, they should have destroyed the body, and they didn't.
It's like, almost like this thing can regenerate or heal by itself, and if you have,
it's like, it's not like you didn't know. Not like you didn't know sarcophaguses existed. Daniel knows better than anybody about that.
Yeah, actually though. What is who plays Apophis? Peter something. I said Peter Cullen. Peter Will. Okay, because I was thinking the guy that voices Megatron, and I was like, that's not the right guy. I really loved every time they brought him back. It did kind of drag on to a degree. Obviously, when we could have gotten Sokar, and Sokar could have been a really cool villain. Wish that would have happened to some degree.
Yeah, they didn't do anything with Sokar, the actual devil, or what is the representation of, devil would have been like.
How did he get that reputation? Just let me. And if you're going to introduce Baal in the way you did, and Sokar is supposed to be like 10 times more evil,
right? Yeah,
because that Baal was such a good intro.
I mean, he ruled a prison hell planet, I guess, but that's not. I mean, what is?
It's so odd. At least when I guess going back to Apophis for a second, just at least we got to see how a Goa'uld dies and then the host dies after in that way. Because usually when we see something like that, it's okay. Well, they just got shot and they're dead, or now they're breathing and now they're not. Or maybe Tok'ra, we see a lot of Tok'ra stuff. Or I guess we see the host die from Selmac when Selmac's going into Jacob Carter. A couple other kind of smaller instances, but we don't really get to see. Wait a second, that Gould's been alive for how long? I've been keeping this being alive for how long? And then we get to see, I guess, Peter Williams. There we go. Aged just perfectly like that. It was really, really.
Yeah, that was a really good scene. And there's like one of my favorite Daniel scenes there too, when he talks to him and like is kind of like, I want to kill you, but like whatever. I forget exactly what, but it's like that's one of my favorite like scenes. Yeah.
That was one of our best episodes whenever we were doing our big SG1 watch through, right?
What was the name of the episode?
Oh, I don't remember off the top of my head.
It might have made the finalist list. I don't know if it was actually.
I think we watched it. Or maybe because I have it on, I have SG1 on when I play cards all the time, so I could have just looked up and seen it and whatever like memories popping up. But it's such a good episode. That obviously is more like human because you see the human die from it, but just the process of the Gould, because we don't really get to see them. Like I guess we said the Serpent Song.
Yeah,
that might be it. That kind of
Serpent Song. That was. I think it was on the list, but I don't think it was. I don't think it was what we picked.
Because the SG1 marathon was hard because it was a 2-dayer and that.
Yeah, that about.
Yeah. SGA and SGU went a little more smoothly.
Yeah.
We were trying
should have split like just one. Well, you don't want to have a fundraising thing where you're just watching all the bad episodes. That wouldn't go.
Then you're just making fun of everything the whole time. You're like, oh yeah, donate, help support, and also this is shit. So, like,
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's just really cool. I love the Apophis stuff where we get to see the aging out of after the Gould. The Gould are just such an interesting, cool concept, and of course we get to see the Wraith kind of turn into a less parasite, more vampire, I guess, version of that, which is super interesting in its own way. But we see how they age so quickly, or can de-age something so quickly. It almost felt like, because did we have Atlantis by the time we had Sokar and Final Apophis? Was Atlantis a thing yet, or was that a season off still? Had episodes of SG1? Blasphemy.
Yeah.
Nosfer Gould. But I just can't remember if that's the same timing or not. Because the Wraith.
No, that was the right. That was before Atlantis. I'm pretty sure. I think that was like season 4 or something.
Well, then they had to have used that idea, I guess, to continue that, huh? For the Wraith, because it's just it's so neat. Question for Harris, Sarah in chat: would you take a symbiote to save your life?
A Gould or a Tok'ra?
Ooh, give us the caveat, or I guess both. Would you take a Gould and would you take a Tok'ra?
I would take a Tok'ra because then you actually do have a symbiotic relationship. With a Gould, they just suppress the other consciousness and do their thing.
Both. Okay, cool. Yeah. We did it right then.
So, Tok'ra, yes. Gould, no.
I think I'm going to give a caveat. I'm going to put like a little wrench in it real quick. But I think I'm more likely to take a Gould than a Tok'ra. And only on one condition. Because I obviously would lean more towards the Tok'ra because they're good guys and yada yada. But they're good guys. And once you're part of the Tok'ra, they don't really let you go off and do your own thing. They don't want you to be a rogue Tok'ra. That's like very much against what they want you to do. And they very well might come after you if you do that. So you are like stuck within a dying species and civilization, essentially.
Right.
And have
but your consciousness still gets to exist.
Yes.
Where the Gould, it's totally like suppressed.
I'm going to be a system lord. I don't know what y'all. Y'all just watch out. Hire me, Amazon.
I would
No,
be a good system lord.
I'll try. I'd be you at the later days. I'd just be
Yeah.
too stoned, and instead of dementia, there'd be differences here.
Yeah.
But the wrench I would throw in here would be if I knew I had like an SG-1 team or a Stargate team or a team of people I trusted around me, and they had the medical equipment to take out the Goa'uld after. I would say save my life.
Right.
And put the Goa'uld in me. As long as you can take it out after and keep me like
Right.
tied down to a thing.
But would you stay healed or whatever without it?
Yeah, it heals you and then it comes out. I think they've taken Goa'uld out of people, but I don't think it leaves any symptoms, I guess, or any side effects or anything like that necessarily. You're no Jacob Carter. Can you imagine Jay as a system lord? I mean, he'd love it too, though. It'd be great. He'd have too much fun.
We'd have to come up with what god would he be?
When he pops in, because he's supposed to pop in. He's still working at work, and of course he pulled his back. Not pulled his back. He herniated disc. Whatever I'm trying to say. The other day, so it takes him a second longer to get to a computer and sit down. We'll hopefully see the man. If you click your heels and say his name 5 times fast, there's a good chance he might pop in as a system lord. You never know. You never know.
You never know. Yeah, you never know.
No promises either, of course. Yep. you never know. That's right, Joey. That's cheating. Besides, the Goa'uld won't let you do that. God of the Jelly Babies. Well, that's cheating. I said I'm throwing a wrench in it. There was a heavy caveat there.
Yeah.
But I don't think I would take either. If I'm going to die, well, I guess the question is you are going to die, right?
Yeah, you're like Jacob Carter in this situation. It's Jacob, right?
Yeah. Besides, the Goa'uld won't let you do that. The Goa'uld wouldn't have any say about it, in I guess my situation. All they're doing is
right. It'd be against their, Or would it get implanted in you, and then you'd go all like that one episode where the child shows Daniel what it would be like to have all the knowledge of the Goa'uld, and he turned all evil and everything. So maybe you'd turn all evil before they could reverse it.
Well, I guess, because you are imprinted with their memory as well. Are we talking like an infant Goa'uld, or are we talking like a system lord? Are we actually talking a system lord?
Oh, right. Yeah, that's...
That is I guess
is it really clear about that? Like, what did they have knowledge from the time they're...
Because they have to be imprinted with the knowledge, because because they share a knowledge, almost like a hive mind to a degree. Right. Narcissus, those are the Narcissus stuff. Whenever we see like the almost goblet of fire looking things, but it's little Goa'uld swimming around in them and stuff. Sounds like the Dune preborn. Actually, though, genetic memory. Yeah, genetic memory.
Yeah. That's what I was thinking of that. Yeah.
If I'm on death's doorbed, I'm much more likely to accept a Tok'ra. I don't like. I would be Jason Momoa as a Tok'ra, though. I would be Ronan as a Tok'ra, because I would not stay with the Tok'ra. I'd say, hey, sorry, buddy, whoever you are inside of me, we're not staying here. Like, we're getting the hell out of Dodge. Hey, there you go. Why not just ask Oma to ascend you? Honestly, at that point, if I was aware of the existence, I would rather do that than the Tok'ra.
Right.
Because then if I piss him off upstairs, they just put me right back downstairs, and I'm normal again. I'm alive. I'm like, okay, I'll take it.
But are you worthy?
Can I have a mushroom before I die? It might help. Like, I don't know. Oma might see that as cheating. I don't know their standards or anything. Knocking on Heaven's Gate. Why didn't Daniel Jackson get a Tok'ra and ascend again? Because he was too far gone for a Tok'ra to heal. Because his entire body was burned and damaged, and
wasn't he like he wanted to go because didn't Jack like plead with him because they were trying to heal him and stuff, and he was like, "No, just let me
Because
go."
Jacob came and said a
Yeah.
Tok'ra would be able to help him, but he would never be
Right.
the same. Maybe, or maybe he said the Tok'ra was too far gone and it wasn't going to be able to save him.
I don't remember. I'd have to watch it. I got to do a watch through of Stargate again. It's been a bit. I'm trying to remember.
At the end of every time I get through a watch through a Stargate,
Mm-hmm.
I've forgotten half of the first half of SG because it's just so much.
Yeah, it is. Yep.
Well, the Gould that took over Kowalski quickly. What sort of Gould was that?
That was the.
Oh, the hand device was working, and Daniel said stop. Okay, so they were going to just heal him, but he was never going to end up being
right. Yeah, it wasn't going to totally. I don't know. It wasn't going to totally bring him back to normal or something, because it had a limit on how much it could do or something like that.
Yeah, that for lack of a better term, he was going to probably just be a vegetable sitting in a chair for a long time. And what kind of existence is that when you have the cognizance to know that, hey, I could just turn into an ascended being real quick.
Which would be kind of the ultimate for him because he wanted all that knowledge and everything. So anyway,
it was a very natural progression and beautifully handled, honestly. That's one of the best things I feel like they did the entire series, and it's far earlier in the series than you expect because you gotta go through the Jonas season and a half and everything. And always bring Jonas back, but, you know. Oh, Kowalski's was a juvenile, and that's why he did not have full control. Yep. A label symbiote from a Jaffa patch. Yeah, wasn't that one pouch, whatever I'm trying to say.
pouch.
A pouchy patch. Pouch. All the above. Thessie says if it was a symbiote with the Tok'ra, yeah, I would. I'd like to.
Yeah.
I get it, a larval.
Larval. I just thought that was some fancy word for that, so I'm like, okay, whatever.
Yeah, I was like, is that like naval, but like a little like
get the idea
else?
what you mean.
Oh, that's also a great point, Monk. But also at that point, a larval lamp. Daniel didn't understand the rules of what it meant to be an ascended being. I wonder if he would have done it again.
Right. Yeah, he was not a fan of like their we don't get involved thing. Yeah. They were more political, I think, than he thought they were there. So
the ancients remind me prior to I guess their ascension, they're almost very Assuran-like in a way. I guess just what we get from the Assurans. It feels like they're a very similar kind of thing, just a little more goofy. They're not as like the Assurans are very sterile, where the ancients were very Assuran-like, but all right, let's try it, kind of deal. And brain fart. Hello.
What were we talking about again?
Oh, the ancients. Once they ascend, I was like, what other group of people are we talking about in SG-1 right now? The ancients, whenever they actually ascended as a whole species of people or race of people, whatever, they feel like you're kind of hoity-toity, like philosophers that just don't get anything done because they would rather debate how to get something done than do it. And it's just like, you have all the power in the world.
Yeah.
And the same thing with philosophers. It's like, hey, if you have the money and time to be able to be a philosopher, just go. Like, I get it. Debate stuff. Like, talk about it. Like, you're great. But go out and help the world, maybe, instead of just debate about it. And same thing with or epitomized with the ancients, especially.
I think isn't that episode in the when he's in the cafe, a lot of that gets expressed in that when he's in that diner, he kind of gets a bit into that.
It's just done, and I guess I see what you're saying as well, Monk. But they do address it pretty damn well in the diner. I still see what you're saying, though. It's like just give us that little bit more because it's so. philosopher, and like they only speak in metaphors. They're not telling you exactly what they mean, but you can kind of pick apart and theorize from that. But we're just kind of theorizing.
They became too self-interested and like didn't have any compassion. And Daniel's all about compassion, and
he's like, what is the? And I agree with you. Like, I literally, what's the point of not what's the point, but I think the point of existence is to learn. Like, I think that is.
Yeah,
we managed to get some higher cognizance and start understanding things. The point is to learn and then to learn to live and whatever, I guess that is like the epitome of human existence, in my opinion. And Daniel, that's why I like me some Daniel. I was like, I get you, dude. I get you, Why would you thirst for and drink and digest all this knowledge not to share it? Like, libraries aren't just for holding books in.
What's the point of your existence?
Yeah.
Just to exist and, I don't know.
And that's why I don't get the knocks either. Like I'm well, it might be the Texan in me, but I'm a pacifist till you shoot at me, then I'm gonna shoot back. Like that's just kind of like my idea. Like I get the pacifism, but there's like a level of self-defense too. Like don't let pacifism allow negligence or blissful ignorance to kind of, because I feel like the Nox turn into a negligent species. Maybe not on the planets they live on, and the planets they live on are these beautiful, well taken care of gardens throughout the world. But what good is a garden if you can't eat its fruit? Like I know we're getting kind of metaphorical there, but like that, I guess that's the thing that sits with me from the Nox and the Ancients kind of at the same time. A single person could not gift all that much technology or history, but they could explore their future and help them understand why things were left behind the way they were. And that's why, thank you, Merlin. Like that was that whole part of the Orion stuff was so good. So good. It's because Daniel's modern Merlin, which is really cool.
Yeah.
It's just, okay, well, it was one of those things that, okay, we're 8 seasons into a TV show. We were going to end that one and start a new one, but we know you want to keep this one, so we're going to continue with this one for a bit.
Yeah.
We do a lot of historical, like, allegories and sci-fi draw from and run with it kind of things.
Right.
What's a really cool thing that we haven't touched on in history that actually makes sense here?
Yeah, Excalibur. I don't know. Did they? Oh, they did have that hologram sword fight or whatever it was. That what Mitchell is the one that fights him? Yeah.
Crichton.
Oh yes, Crichton.
Which, hey, Patreon members, we started our watch through last Monday. Every time Monday rolls around, come watch Low Farscape with us. Yep. We're gonna be doing that for a good while.
Oh, wow.
A good long one.
4 seasons in a miniseries. Yeah.
Yeah. When he grabs that Excalibur, he fights all the little holograms and gets his ass whooped a couple of times and is so pissed off. Those are some great scenes.
Yep.
Great scenes. I guess what we're talking about, the Ancients and stuff, the Ancients did leave the repositories of knowledge behind, so they did want some of their knowledge passed on. That's a really good point. But part of that is, do you think that was purposeful? Or do you think we all figured out how to ascend. We're all now ascending. Oh, wait, we forgot to clean up first.
Yeah, like Jamie always talks about in Atlantis, they left all the lights on or whatever.
Yeah. Because that's kind of what it feels like a lot of the time.
Yeah. Well, they left that behind, but then, like, it's too much for the human brain to, like, take in. Because remember, Jack was going to die or whatever, and the Asgard are the ones that, save him, right? Download it or whatever.
Like, they extract the knowledge from his brain or something, which is insane that, wait a second, I never thought about it like that, where they...
Yeah.
They like take a wrinkle out or something? I'm still like, what?
I don't know. They're able to determine, what electrical signals or what memories or something. I don't know. Anyway, Kind of makes me think of. Have you ever seen Johnny Mnemonic?
Barely,
Oh, okay.
barely.
Okay. Anyway.
My
It
dad
just
loved
makes
it.
me think of that because he has like this, like it's a computer thing in his brain that they put like too much knowledge in, and it's like, anyway, makes me think of that.
Yeah. That like you get 100% access to your brain now instead of the 10% or whatever. That's cool.
It was like some kind of. It was like there was like these couriers that had like this kind of storage built into their brain to store knowledge that can be uploaded and downloaded, and they put like they overloaded it, and then he's gonna die unless he downloads the stuff in there. Anyway, it's just it makes me it's kind of similar to what happens to Jack. He gets all this stuff downloaded in his brain, and anyway. Yeah.
Well, yeah, that makes me think of like Neuralink from now. Honestly, like the thing that's about to come out sooner than later, mixed with Oh, I just had it. Literally, give me half a second, and it goes out my brain. Mixed with Oh, I'll think about it. AI mixed with what? Anyway, it's going to drive me crazy forgetting about that. I just want to see more views from like Oma Merlin and Morgan Le Fay, who were all way too general in their assessments. I wanted the counter view. Yeah, maybe having some like smart being like that could have helped. I don't know.
Yeah, another one of those things like we were talking about, different things that could be explored. There we go, Anyway.
There's so many good ways to do it.
I don't want it either, but if they're going to go there, there's so many things they could do better.
If they are to do that, do we want like plot points, not necessarily story beats? So we'll get to places in a different way necessarily, but and tossing this to Chad as well, of course. But Sarah, if they were to do that, would you want it like a one by one? Like, okay, plot points. Like, I want this to happen. I want them to be Erich Bach in season 3. I want them to do. Daniel needs to die in the end of season 4, mid season 5, whenever. I think it's mid season 5. Or is it Jonas? Jonas is all season 5 and then season 6, or he's season 6 and then a little bit of 7.
Jonas is season 6.
Okay, well then yeah. So then maybe mid through season 5 and then Jonas through season 6. Like, would you want those plot points, not necessarily the story beats, but like the plot points to hit the same notes?
I don't think it has to follow exactly like the original. I think just kind of take some of those elements and maybe reorder them, redo them, maybe take some out. Some maybe went a little, we didn't need it to be that in depth, and other stuff I think needs to be gone into a lot more. I think you'd be fine to put some new things in, but I think there would be ways to take what exists and kind of make it more modern, I guess. I don't know, not that it wasn't modern, but
I guess modern's different than it was 15.
More like, because that's very of its time kind of television. I mean, it's good and it's timeless in its own way, and it's always going to be. But, if you're going to do it in a more, I guess it depends. Are they going to go with a more serious tone or, whatever? I don't know. I think you get what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know if I even want them to do a serious tone with it, because I feel like that's the.
I mean, there has to be some. I mean, I guess I mean more like sort of like the SGU, but even SGU, when you watch it, like they were starting to kind of leak some humor back in there, especially towards the end of season 2.
Oh yeah,
they were starting to do that.
It wasn't, and it wasn't just Eli. I guess they found a way to write everybody, and it was like, okay, well, Eli's obviously our humor relief, our comedic relief guy over here. But now we're kind of laughing at Brody and Vogel sometimes, and not because they're dumb. It's it's not because Rush's which can just going to be funny in general as well. But it was I feel like the Destiny had good situational comedy. It would put people in situations where it was just like, they're not laughing, but as an audience, it makes us chuckle a little bit. and,
Yeah.
and that was like a
Yeah.
chuckle along kind of deal. And they still,
Mhm.
and that allowed them, I guess, to keep that seriousness as well, which was fun.
Mhm. Yeah.
But yeah, I'd prefer a little comedy, not MCU comedy.
Mhm.
Don't do that to us, but
No,
give
not
us
yeah.
give us Stargate comedy. Let Richard Dean Anderson come on every like 3 months, tell a bunch of jokes, stories, and stuff like that. Record what he says, grab those jokes and stuff, and then put those into the plot. It's like, just try that.
Yeah, just make him like, I don't know, some kind of like he lives in that cabin that they always show him fishing. Like that's where he lives, and I don't know, maybe somehow it turns out that repository knowledge wasn't removed from his brain. They just did something to his brain so it wouldn't kill him. And so now they're going back to him to get information or something, you know.
Yeah, maybe Thor just put like a bubble to protect his brain. I don't know exactly how to
Yeah.
describe something like that.
Hmm. Or maybe that's what they did. I don't remember. Maybe that is what they did. I don't know.
In the middle of my backswing.
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean, that'd be really. I mean, as you said that, I just went to my
Mhm.
brain went to Jack digs out a basement and has like some lab or something in his freaking under the cabin or some crazy stuff. But obviously, you don't want a basement next to a pond. Probably not the best idea.
No.
Um, it's gonna be filled with water very quickly.
Mhm.
Uh, but I could see him doing something like that in a big way. Have maybe a little bit of that knowledge still there, and
Mhm.
if of course we're in the continuation theory here, that would be somebody to go back to and have conversations
Mhm.
with, and you don't have to
Right.
put him in every episode. And if you did,
Right.
you could put him
Mhm.
in as like a cameo per episode and have him in there for a minute,
Right.
2 minutes maybe,
Right.
and
Or you
still
bring
have.
in the clone. You know, he has a clone out there.
And he's young,
So. Mhm.
so we just need someone that looks like Richard Dean Anderson. I don't know any actors that look like Richard Dean Anderson off the top of my
So,
head. Hey,
well, you
Lucas
could always say
Tilsley, Wonder
something
MacGyver.
like they had to change his looks. I don't know, using Asgard technology or something. Like they had to change his looks because he couldn't go around looking exactly like
And people
back when
know
he
Jack never had a kid, or Jack had a
right,
kid and was never going to have another one after what happened to his
right.
kid. So
Hmm.
it wouldn't necessarily make sense for him either. Yeah,
Right.
just be like, well, yeah, he was 18, and before we put him into the real world, gave him
Hmm.
plastic surgery to be his own man, or
Yeah.
whatever.
Hmm.
Um,
Yeah.
Reboots don't work. Look at Quantum Leap, and I think that guy had something to do with Stargate. Lesson learned.
Yeah.
That's what I was kind of
I agree. I don't
putting.
want a reboot, but if it happens, we're just
Yeah, because Quantum Leap was a complete reboot, right? Because it didn't include Bakula at all, or excuse me, as Jamie would say, Bakula.
I think they actually make reference to it, but I don't.
It's like a soft,
Yeah, it's kind of
soft
a
reboot.
soft reboot, I think,
Okay.
where they kind of refer to it, but I think it's still kind of its own thing.
As we say the word soft reboot, literally David has already typed it. He's ready. If they do a soft reboot, they could do Daniel going through the mirror to a different universe and can't get back again. That gives you an original member, new teams, and aliens.
Yeah, that would be cool. Yeah. And
Ooh,
that's
that
the way you could bring back Frasier too, because we know that
yeah.
Dr. Frasier is alive in alternate universe, right? So
Would this piss people off more than a hard reboot, though?
I, I don't think people would be happy about it because people want to see RDA and Amanda and Chris,
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, Bakula was
Kowalski.
in it, and it was a
Hmm.
continuation. Okay.
Hmm.
Okay. Um. So it was kind of a soft reboot, and
Hmm.
this would be as well. But I think I would prefer a hard reboot over this. I think I would actually prefer a
Yeah.
hard reboot, unless like this was just the pilot episode, and then we got back into
Hmm.
the normal, actual like functional everything, and then maybe learn how it has changed
Yeah.
since then. Um,
Hmm.
I don't know because I'm trying to find a better reference or metaphor for this, but that just feels like it's tickling your balls. Like it's just not. It's not. It ain't going all the way. No, I don't know. That one hurts a little bit. Maybe though, if they did it right, if they do anything right, hey. So we've kind of talked a lot about a couple different aliens and alien things going on. Shall we go through the list and see which one our favorite may or may not be, or which one all of our personal favorites are?
And I realized in doing this, I was thinking of just SG-1, but there's also Atlantis and Universe to think about too.
And I think that's why that Gate World article is so freaking well.
Yeah.
Cal says they restarted the QL program, picking up from where Dr. Beckett left off. They were searching for him, supposedly.
Oh, Quantum Leap. Okay.
Oh.
Yeah, because that's how Quantum Leap, the Bakula one ended with just like, and he never made it home. Like that's how the series ends.
Wait, does that make the Scott Bakula episode of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia canon because he's still trying to find his way home? He's like, Ziggy, bring me home, and like starts singing.
I didn't see that episode, but if it refers that's what they're that would be it. Yeah, that would be the joke. Yeah.
I almost don't want to suggest people go watch that episode, but people should go watch that episode. It's the funniest shit ever. It's so bad. It's a musical episode of It's Always Sunny, so I guess that may or may not benefit or
I'm out.
lessen the appeal. Great, just got a couple more people in here. Right as I'm about to talk about the episode title of the It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia episode here is called The Gang Turns Black. And it's an episode where they quantum leap, and all of the normal It's Always Sunny cast is now living the life of a group of black friends throughout a day, and they're trying to figure out exactly. It's clever and it's hilarious. But it's hard to describe on stream without trying to demonetize yourself. Hey, it's better than the freaking butt plug Russian chess game that I was describing that started everything at one time.
Oh, there we go. We have to have our, can't go an episode without mentioning it. Okay.
Of course not. But this episode, that episode's hilarious because of that.
Right.
The Gang Turns Black is the entire episode's hilarious. It's a joke on Quantum Leap. It's a parody of Quantum Leap. It's a parody of almost like a Freaky Friday thing, but for an entire group. And then it's also a bit of a parody on The Wiz, because they're watching The Wiz when it happens, and they think that's why everything happened. It's such a crazy episode. Anyway, back to everything, because that would be kind of like that. I think that's Quantum Leap canon in my head now. Whenever I go through Quantum Leap, I have to put that episode into my watch before I go to the new series eventually. Go Claude. Hey.
I remember that episode. Have you gotten to that in Enterprise yet? Probably not.
It was when Bakula and Dean Stockwell. I forgot Bakula was in Enterprise. I don't know why I'm thinking about. I'm on Quantum Leap right now. Completely forgot about the man I'm like watching every time I watch the show. It was great when Bakula and Dean Stockwell appear together on an episode of Enterprise. Why am I? Let me look up Dean Stockwell real quick.
You may not have gotten to it yet. I don't know. I don't remember when it.
Oh, yeah. Well, actually, I don't know, because I obviously recognize Dean Stockwell after I Google him. Enterprise episode. Yeah. I've watched this episode where he's in charge of the prison. Yeah. Which Stargate aliens y'all come up with so far? Well, we've talked at length about the Nox and and I guess the Goa'uld, but like Apophis and like the process of death Goa'uld and the human slash
if we would take a symbiote, I think is how we got on this. Anyway, we're chasing rabbits as usual.
Of course. and they're fun to chase. They're very fun to chase here.
Mm-hmm.
Prison Warden of Suliban. Yeah, that's right. That was a really good Suliban episode.
Oh yeah.
Star Trek leap. I guess let's jump in and start talking about all these other aliens real quick, because there are so many other little things. I'm gonna let you pronounce this one, Sarah. You're
a tur. I don't know. I have no idea. Don't ask me.
I don't know. Like I'm trying to pause for the apostrophes.
Adders.
This is making me need some inhalation exercises. You can't see the article?
I can
you see it now?
I have it pulled up on my screen, but I can see you sharing it. I see it.
There we go. Okay, cool. Yeah, this is the one that takes over Jack from the planet that they go back and bring that.
Yeah, device. That orb like sends out those spikes and puts it through his shoulder or whatever, and yeah.
I don't.
It's an interesting idea that there's like these microbe aliens, right? It's kind of cool.
I really like the idea.
You don't really get a sense of if they're really evil or good. It's more like they're just trying to survive. They want a planet to live on, right? Anyway.
Is it still there? Hey, Travel.
I'm still seeing it.
Yeah, it looks fine here. RDA retired from matching at 48 after the birth of his only child. Oh. Well, maybe we can convince him to unretire for a little bit. Hopefully. It's on the screen now? Okay, cool.
I think he would, I think he'd do it. I mean, not like full on, but, do an episode here and there.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the recurring character. I don't know if a regular would even do it, but that recurring would be good for him. But yeah, no, I really like this microbe kind of species. It reminds me of the one that ends up in SGU. That's kind of like the whole swirly wind in the water and everything like that. That's just like we're trying to leave. Yeah. We don't necessarily want to hurt you or kill you, but we just need to get out of here. And I guess this kind of happens there, where
they're kind of similar.
Yeah, and you could perceive either as bad because, hell, you didn't have to come to our thing and act the way you did. But also, aren't they doing the same thing we're doing, like exploring and being curious? They just explore and be curious, and, we actually can't survive the way we thought we could here. So, yeah, I guess it's that kind of they're those – they're similar, I feel like, almost to the drones, where they aren't good or bad. But in an organic sense, I guess. Oh, what? Maybe we can get Sam Witwer to play Richard Dean Anderson and RDA can voice him? I don't know. Well, Sam Witwer can make his voice sound like anything.
Right.
I don't think Sam Witwer necessarily looks like RDA, but if he wants to play the older version, yes, please. Get Sam Witwer all over Stargate. Get him excited about Stargate because, well, maybe Star Wars is going to do some cool stuff soon. Fingers crossed, but we shall see. Oh, hell yeah. Smart monk. RDA's daughter's an actress. You could probably get RDA to do an episode or two if you got her to come on. If she's a good actress, put her on the team. Like, hell, why not,
Yeah. But I think he would anyway, with or without her. I mean, that might motivate him to do more, but.
Yeah, I think that would really help. What is Odo? I just had to Google it real quick.
DS9.
Oh, is he in Star Trek?
Yeah, Odo is DS9.
Oh, nice.
He's a shapeshifter.
Oh, that works for frickin' Sam Witwer. He's a frickin' chameleon. That dude. If I could be an actor, I mean, I am an actor. If I could be an actor, literally what I did yesterday today. I totally threw myself off what I was going to say. If I could emulate an actor, he's one that I would very much like to emulate. That's what I was trying to go for. Will the Canada-U.S. relations affect productions? Lots of Canadians in sci-fi.
I don't know how the tariffs are going to. I don't know if it's. I guess it just depends. But I mean, I don't think like Canadians think like everybody in the U.S. is on board, with what's going on.
Yeah, and vice versa, both
Yeah.
ways. It's a whole debacle one way or another. It's not like they aren't tariffs. I don't think necessarily it wouldn't necessarily affect, I would assume at least here, affect the production aspect of anything, but it would raise the cost of production if the products are not made and you don't have all the money and manpower and equipment to bring them to Canada, because you either have to buy and purchase equipment and ship it there, which then very much increases your whole set increases by 25%. There you go. Your whole movie. Not your whole movie, but a good chunk of your movie is increasing there versus if they have the equipment already and all they do is rent out the space.
Right.
I don't know if there's tariffs on renting out spaces. It's more a product commerce kind of thing versus that. So I think it should. There are ways it would be perfectly fine, and there are ways that it would screw the production over immensely. And it's probably realistically somewhere in the middle.
Yeah.
Is that as PC and probable as an answer as we can give there? They can drive to the U.S. and buy the equipment and take it back themselves. Well, the studios they're working for are U.S. studios. They might have the Canadian locations, but they're typically U.S. owned companies. Not all of them, of course.
Right.
So there's a bit of a there's a lot of gray area in that. A lot of gray area in that.
Yeah.
Trying to see. I thought we might have missed something. I could be on my own here, but I really like the episode of SGA when the Wraith was on Earth and Shepard tracked him down. Could do a limited series with Shepard as a tracker. Oh, hell yeah. Hell yeah. That episode felt like it wasn't going to be a good one. And then it ended up being.
Better than anything. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh. It's like 2/3 of the episode's like, okay, all right, back home, see some people. You're on Atlantis. You have time for this? Then we get to Wraith, and it's like, okay, cool.
Yeah, that was kind of an interesting episode. I forget, like, how does he? Is it an alternate? I forget how that even. I don't remember how he ends up there in Vegas. How that happens, anyway.
It's not. His dad's not getting it. His dad's not dead because they talked to his dad. So is it? He's not getting an award. Someone's getting an award or something like that. And it's one of those things where, like, okay, if I'm on Earth, I'm going to go to this event, and they kind of have to oh yeah, he's still here, you know.
That's right. Okay. I'm kind of remembering now. Okay, like I said, I need to do a watch through
again. There's so much. There's so much. Shepard and Ronan as trackers would be really cool. It would. Michael Shanks is a Canadian. Welcome to a Hard Reboot. I did not know he was Welcome to a Hard Reboot. I didn't know he was Canadian, though. Have y'all seen the trailer for Together?
Together? No.
If you have not, part of me wants to watch it right now, but we could. You want to watch it right now? Michael Shanks has a new movie that is coming out soon, and he directed it, wrote and directed it.
No, I don't think that's him. There's another guy with the same name. I don't.
Is it really?
I think so. Because I remember seeing that and thinking like, oh, and then it was, Is
it really? That's gonna make me so sad. Oh, okay. IMDb is being weird. Let me go to IMDb Pro. That might actually give me a little. Give me the fancy IMDb, please. Oh, I gotta type in the thing because I could have sworn it was him, but I very well may have just gotten excited and it been like, oh, it's him. It's 3F7. I don't know if that's a space or not. Oh, okay. Nope. They don't like my puzzle thing. Michael Shanks. We're just Googling now.
Puzzle thing?
Well, because I was trying to log into IMDb and it was trying to make me do one of the.
Dude,
how many? What characters do this?
Yeah.
And I couldn't tell if there was a space or not there. It was
is that really needed to log into IMDb? Anyway, I guess maybe it might be, but.
Well, it's the IMDb Pro, I guess, because I usually don't do that on IMDb, but I don't know. Michael Shanks together. Director is Michael Shanks. Oh, it is a different Michael Shanks. Damn. I was so excited. It's a trailer, not the movie. Oh, come on. How can there be two Michael Shanks? Two Michael Shanks that are in a position to make a movie.
Not confusing or anything, you know.
That trailer looks so good now. It looks so good. We don't need to watch it now, but looks so good. Dave Franco and Allison Brie. I'm so sad now. Hey, Modest is asking real quick. Because I know you've been thinking about it.
I know I want to do it. It's finding the time to do it and then deciding what show I want to do and then learning the technical side of it. I know it's not that hard, really, I guess. But
you can use all of the what we use for SciTrek and everything else too, of course. Because that should help and streamline it, like StreamYards does. You know, and the StreamYards ain't perfect either, so on and so forth. But yeah.
So I got to find something that's accessible to everybody because, I mean, there's shows I'd like to do, but they're not on a streaming service anywhere or whatever, you know? Like, I would love to do Defiance, but that's not, I don't think that's on a streaming service anywhere.
Yeah.
So,
because then you end up just having to, like, pay for all of it, and it's just hard to get people to watch along in that sense.
Right.
Also, we can talk about stuff like that off stream. Actually get into like the nitty gritty of how to do that kind of stuff. But yes, if I'm around, I'm doing it. I'll be saying howdy, and if you need help, I always got you. And Modest Travel will be hanging out. Modest Traveler.
That's what I should do, Bella.
Ooh.
Thought about that. That would be good.
I want to find Defiance again.
Yeah. Had to buy it.
I
mean, it was, we bought it on iTunes or whatever.
Ooh.
Yeah.
It's not
I
like.
don't remember how much it was. I don't think it was super expensive because it's like 3 seasons. So
that's not too bad.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Only 3 series. Could buy it on DVD, etc.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You can still call me Traveler. It's short. I typically do. Sometimes, when you're just reading things, you tend to say the whole thing. Sometimes you shorten it when you're actually paying attention. But I guess back to Aliens real quick. Sorry, say what?
Oh, I was saying, it just made me think of there's the Travelers in Atlantis. Those Travelers group of aliens with that one chick that Shepard kind of has a thing for, or they have a thing for each other, but it doesn't work out. Yeah.
No Shepard. Who do you think has more children throughout the galaxies, Shepard or RDA?
Shepard.
I think it's Shepard. I don't think we see Shepard jumping in kind of romances as much, but it's got to be Shepard.
But that makes me think of like a cool idea for like the next iteration of Stargate, whatever it is remember when O'Neill gets stuck on that planet where an asteroid hits the Stargate, because it's that planet where every 100 years there's asteroids or whatever, and he hooked up with that lady. What if like she was pregnant when he left and never told him, and then that kid shows up? Like, that would be a cool story idea,
Please, and then let's see him with the clone.
Yep.
Try to figure out, because that would be a really weird and really cool dynamic as well, especially if you could get RDA there and say, hey, we have your legitimate kid. Guess what? You do actually have a child alive. we're not going to say it's not your fault, but also you are just generally an absentee father, whether you were part of this planet or not. Time to hang out with your kid. Oh, but guess what? I'm old, crotchety, and don't really want to hang out with you.
Yeah.
How about you hang out with me? Here's my clone.
Mm-hmm.
And that would be an interesting thing.
Oh, yeah, and they end up being like best friends, or
Would the clone be more of a brother, or would it be like a fatherly brother, older brother, or would it be more like just you're kind of the same?
More like they'd be fairly close to the same age, I think, wouldn't they? Maybe, yeah. He'd be old. I mean, the clone would be older, I think. I'd have to actually look at like what the timeline is on that. I don't remember, just off the top of my head, but.
The kid's not mine, O'Neill. I love fishing. Yeah. The kid. Mm-hmm. Okay, the kid's mine. O'Neill.
Or maybe they team up and travel around the Stargates, and maybe they're kind of lovable rogues or something in the universe and always causing trouble that has to be sorted out or something. It'd be kind of fun. Anyway.
Didn't 200 have that joke about Cameron Mitchell and his relation to O'Neill? Something about the episode 1969?
I remember hearing that, but I can't remember exactly what it is.
Because Mitchell doesn't know who his dad is, right?
I remember hearing about this, and I can't remember exactly the details of it, but it's something like that. Because like 1969, the age would be about right. Like he hooked up when they were in 1969 or whatever, I guess. Which that would be. So then it could be like he has 3 kids. Well, 2 kids and a clone, which is kind of like a kid, I guess.
And I guess Mitchell, of course, would be leading it, Mm-hmm. Oh, God. Hey, Erzbach Jr. could help track that kid down. I would. Very much. Very much so. Give me an excuse to be with every version of Jack O'Neill alive. And I'm in.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be so great. Mark said, I'm here. What I miss. A lot of interesting conversation at the beginning. And the whole goal is just to be talking about aliens, and we haven't ended up talking too much about it.
We've hit on it, but we keep,
we get excited. And
there's lots of rabbits. There's just lots of rabbits. What are you going to do?
And they're fast. You got to chase them while you can. If you don't chase them, they're going to disappear.
Yep.
Right. Okay, yeah. Supposedly Jack's his father because of that episode.
Yeah. It would be cool to do.
Because we always joke about Stargate, the next generation, have Lieutenant Haley, have young clone Jack.
Mm-hmm.
What if...
Did Vala and Daniel have a kid? But they wouldn't be grown up yet.
I mean, they'd be about 18, 20.
Yeah.
The show ended in 2009 or 10.
But you have to look at... SG-1 ended in 2007. And then there was the movies. And they weren't together, had any kids by the... Well, we don't know in SGU because they never say anything about what's going on with Daniel in SGU. He's just in it.
Mm-hmm.
So we don't know. But we know that they weren't together, had kids at least through Continuum, right? So.
Yeah, the last season of SGA, the last 2 seasons.
And SGA too, but SGA just doesn't say anything about it, so you don't know. It could be.
He might be spending time on Atlantis at that time because his kid's so young. Right. I can spend this time away now and not when he's older and I need to raise him.
Yeah.
Still, it's not necessarily the best approach, but it would be reasonable and logical in their thought process.
Yeah,
I would think. Monk is saying Vala and Daniel were shown together in an ending. I think it is continued.
Yeah, in the show they never show them together except for that alternate timeline thing or whatever. But everybody, headcanon, we're like they got together. Everybody wants them to have gotten together after that, off camera, so to speak. That would be a story. But
obviously
did they
now
or did they something? And we're just saying okay, well, if they did and had a kid, but
yeah. And
Yeah.
my headcanon is, I'm with you. My headcanon is the same thing could be said of Jack and Sam. Then
Yeah, it could.
you could.
If he retired from the Air Force, because they couldn't be together unless he retired or resigned or whatever, right? Or one of them did.
Well, and we know that he didn't up until
But-
SGU and into SGU
Right.
at least.
But did he end up going to the White House? Because then they would. But then, see, then they wouldn't have that direct chain of. You know what I mean? Like he's there, she's. Well, I guess he still would be SGC, but just kind of a representative at the White House. I guess.
Yeah, I guess it would still be like a direct chain of command in a way, much further apart. But yeah.
Yeah.
Huh. Maybe in an episode or two of Outpost, we might put together our Stargate: The Next Generation.
Right.
That might be fun.
Right. Or a what if Stargate.
What if Stargate: The Next Generation?
I need to step away for a minute. I'll be back.
Yeah, no worries. I'm just going to go through all these different aliens and we'll actually start scrolling real quick. We have the, I'll try to say it again, the Atatur, something like that. If we were talking about Stargate TNG, don't forget Ryak. Oh, we are not going to forget Ryak. And they didn't mention it, but I'm just saying, T'Pol, the lady that plays T'Pol, that is also very friendly with Teal'c at the end of SG1. They had to have had some kids. There's no way they didn't. I'm headcanon, but Ryak's a big brother in my headcanon. There's no way they didn't. Keep it moving. Ancients. We've kind of touched on the Ancients a bunch. We've actually touched on them plenty. And y'all know them. We haven't really touched on the Asgard all that much. Juliet, of course, said that was her favorite species or alien race or whatever we're calling them. Jolene Blaylock. Who's Jolene Blaylock? I just said something and totally blocked out. Oh, T'Pol. There we go. Thank you. I was like, what did I just say that I'm totally forgetting what I just said? The T'Pol stuff. Duh. But yeah, the Asgard are really neat, really cool, obviously. Ishtar and didn't Ryak get married in one episode? They did. So they could already have a kid as well. And that kid could be, oh my God, they could have a kid that's the same age as Teal'c's kid with Jolene Blaylock. That would be an interesting dynamic that would almost mirror Jack's clone and Jack's kid as well. Or did you hear any of that?
You're continuing down the rabbit hole of who had kids, right? So
yeah, we just scrolled by the Ancients and then to the Asgard for a second.
Yeah, no, I get what you're saying. Like, Teal'c's kid, he could have tons of grandkids. He got married.
Well, but I was also saying that there's no way, and it's just my headcanon, but there's no way because Jolene Blaylock, the lady that plays both T'Pol and the new love interest for Teal'c by the end of SG1,
right?
There ain't no way they didn't have kids. There ain't no way they didn't have a couple babies at some point.
Did they actually hook up on the show, or I know they teamed up together, but did they actually like?
I think they became like a couple.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty positive. Ishtar was Jolene's character, or Jolene's character. Sorry.
Yeah.
Okay, so Ishtar did not marry Ryak. Ishtar married Ryak's papa. That makes more sense.
At least in our head kids, right? Or at least they're together and had kids, right?
I think they're together in this series. He's like
she just kind of goes away, and I don't think they ever really say, do they? I don't know. Or do they reference her later, but she's just not in it? I don't know. But anyway, that's another one of those things where like they started this thing, and then I don't know. Maybe she couldn't continue to do the show because she was doing it.
I guess Enterprise was done.
Was it done or at the same time? I'd have to look again.
Enterprise was 2005. That would have been. I think it would either it was right at the end of Enterprise or right after Enterprise. I had to guess.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Ryak married some other girl. But no, I guess it would be interesting if, of course, this headcanon comes to fruition and Teal'c is married to Ishtar and had a couple babies.
Right.
would that mirror, in a different way, of course, but would it mirror the Jack's son and clone arc? Where, okay, well, here's my son who's growing up with his uncle, who's grown up with his nephew all at the same time, just kind of like throw off the dynamics and then just add a little layer of that intrigue.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, that'd be really fun. But to continue on with our aliens, we get to Asgard.
Yes. I like
Asgard's
our favorite, but I mean,
Juliet loved the Asgard.
mm-hmm.
But yeah, Jack already had the one son. But yeah, Jack has the son with the lady, or most likely had the son with the lady on the other planet that
the meteor planet.
Yeah, there we are.
Yeah, I forget what episode that is, but that's 100 days or something like that. I think it's the name of the episode's like 100 days. I don't remember.
Yeah, I think that actually sounds right. I'm bad with episode names and titles and such, but that sounds right. Because they're stuck on there for like 100 days. This totally looks like, I know it's just a puppet on a cold table, but it looks like a dead body on a cold table.
Yeah, I mean, they did a good job with making them seem real, and not, I mean, they looked very real, and they did a good job with it.
Monk, great little shout out there. The Asgard are the most prominent one of the show. Love that Michael Shanks got to be the voice of Thor too. It reminds me of John Rhys Davies in Lord of the Rings. The guy that plays Gimli. He's also the voice of Treebeard, the Ent.
Yes.
It's kind of that similar kind of thing. I love it.
Yep.
The Roswells.
Yeah, it's the.
No. I don't think they're Muppets at all. I don't think it's Jim Henson Creature Shop. I don't know the Creature Shop that did them, but they did a damn good job nonetheless.
Yeah.
Over an hour, and we've made it up to 20.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to speed round. The Assurin. That's not the Assurance.
Oh, or what?
I'm going to refresh this page real fast. See if that does this little. Nope. Okay, right back to that.
No, it has that on mine too. It's like
Screen Rant. What are y'all doing? We are epic procrastinators. That, and we've actually got some pretty fun little conversations going off of stuff that didn't expect to have. We just found the rabbit hole, and it was a fun one. It was a fun one. The Assurin, though, we kind of talked on the Assurin and how they're kind of like the Ancients, but in a more sterile way. Obviously, not to the same degree. The Assurin are the Pegasus replicators.
Okay.
I don't think so. The Assurin are the Assurin. The Pegasus replicators, they have a different name. It's like that, though. Hold up. I'll Google. Pegasus replicators. I did not spell replicators remotely right. They are Assurin. Asian! Oh, my God. That's what it was. Rabbit holes. There we go. Thank y'all. I did not catch that. There we are.
Okay,
that makes sense. So, the Asian are the sterilized or sterile version of the Ancients in a lot of ways, but
I hated the replicators. That was I just not a fan.
Did you like the? I'm with you. The replicators, I like the idea and the concept of them. It just never played out exactly the way I wanted to. They're also hard to show in like mid 2000s well graphically.
Yeah.
So you end up just with a bunch of hallway scenes with people just firing in circles, and you're like, okay, here we are again.
Yeah.
Did you like the origin story at least? The origin story.
I got an emergency phone call here. I'll have to go.
No, go for it. We will hang out. Yep. Did y'all prefer the because I'm with Sarah where the replicators just they don't hit the way they just didn't go away. They even showed up in the Ark of Truth. Yeah, it's just like, come on, what are we doing, y'all? Attack of the Killer Toys. Any dad who stepped in a kid's glow in the dark hated replicators with a passion. That's the damn truth. Do they feel like a giant nothing burger though? I feel like the smarter. By the way, didn't React marry Karen? Was it Karen the name? Cool. And also, howdy, Melvin. Howdy. Stargate Command's contacting Sarah. It was actually RDA right there. But no, I'm a fan of the not the Asgardian replicators, the Pegasus Galaxy replicators far more so than I am the OG, the Milky Way replicators. They were the kind of Borg-like things. And it kind of made sense whenever they became more Borg-like and not so much you're walking Lego spiders, you know? I did like the Assuran Homeworld and the kind of AI, I forget the character name, but the actress that ended up being the origin of all the replicators. I really like that story. It just dragged on. And sometimes in a really good way, but sometimes not. All good?
Yes, everything's good. It's just
Okay, cool.
yeah. My daughter's school called, and sometimes that's like, but it wasn't anything. It was okay. So.
Oh, that's nice. Okay, good.
Yeah.
They're just telling you she got an A+ and
yep. Yeah.
all the good things.
Mm-hmm.
Fingers crossed and manifesting the good things always.
Mm-hmm.
We tend to proselytize our demons in stories. The reality tends to be somewhat less threatening. I agree. And I don't know if you were saying it like as about the replicators, but they do feel less threatening, and that is kind of like the proselytization of our demons. That's an actual really interesting thing for Stargate, because I feel like they do that and then rip the Band-Aid off, because they do it with Apophis and everybody like that. You're like, oh, this is literally Ra's brother. This is going to be awful, terrifying, and he is. And then he dies, and he comes back, and then he dies, and he comes back, and each time you kind of have that proselytization ripped off, to a degree at least, every time. And I appreciate it from a character standpoint, but I can see how it kind of throws off feng shui a little bit too. Jolene quit acting to focus on family and charity work in 2017.
Yeah.
Well, that's just enough time, 8 years, to need a couple more dollars and come back to acting, please.
Yeah.
Come on. Which also, I guess, if she really didn't want to act, she was very much a leader of her people, as Teal'c was a leader of I guess, the General Jaffa as well, and hopefully she became that kind of leader alongside him. But one thing that she would never quit doing, Ishtar, I believe is her name. I think was it Melvin or whoever earlier. No, Melvin gave us Karen. I forget. Was it Cal? Whoever. Ishtar very well could have died at any point throughout the time, because she was very much like, I'm going to go lead my people in battle, and not so much, okay, well, I guess the politics, talking in the tent and making sure everything actually happens well is a important part of everything, but I don't think it's the part that she necessarily wanted to play. So if they wanted to, they could kill her off, and it still makes sense. I would give me some T'Pol. Give me what was her name? Jolene
Blaylock.
Jolene Blaylock. There we go. Yeah. She's awesome. She was a really good actress in the two things I've seen her in. Very good character actress for sci-fi, at least. That'd be cool to see her again. Any heavy opinions on the replicators before we jump on?
No, it's just, I mean, it was fine to have them, but I think they kind of put too much into it. Like, I think it was a mistake to bring them back in Atlantis, and just, there was too much of it. That's all.
Jolene's also 50 now. That don't mean nothing.
Yeah.
If we had John Wick 4 at 62 or 64 years old, and he's fallen down 50 sets of staircases at a time, we're all right. I think we're fine. It made sense they were energy resistance, but they got too powerful. They did. Life Begins at 50. Ask John Lithgow.
Yeah.
Or Morgan Freeman, who he literally didn't get a role. He was, I think, when Harry Met Sally, or Driving Miss Daisy. When Harry Met Sally, I don't know where that one came from. Driving Miss Daisy. I think it was either 45 or 54 years old. It was whenever he got that role, one or the other.
I think he did like Days of Our Lives or something like before that. I remember seeing clips of like him on there.
Young Morgan I can't even attempt to do the accent. I'm just saying, she's 15 and still looks good. Well, if she took care of herself the way she did in Enterprise and SG-1, I'm sure, very sure. Taking care of ourselves does well. I need to get better about that and go to the gym.
She do Comic Cons? I haven't seen her name pop up anything, but it'd be interesting to know. But
probably, Melvin may know that, or anybody else. Y'all let us know. Does Jolene Blaylock do Comic Cons? Because presumably, maybe she doesn't need much money if she's going to Comic Cons, because you can make cash off them things. Oh my god! We need to get me hired for Eris Bach Jr. So I can just go to Comic Cons and never work again, y'all, and we can just do this all the time.
you got to make an Eris Bach Jr. short film on your iPhone or whatever, and just
we need the. I got the GoPro. We're gonna GoPro it.
Yeah.
Action shots, the whole thing's just
and
running.
It would work as a fan film because you're doing a spin-off character of a minor character, and then you should do it. That would be fun.
I'm down. I need to get that 3D printer going, and I'm in. It'd be fun. I guess, Mark, real quick, we're talking about Daredevil really quickly. So everyone saw Daredevil last night, right?
I saw I've only seen the first half hour of the first episode. I started watching it this morning and didn't get to finish, but I'm going to finish watching it today. I was at a hockey game last night, so I didn't see it, but
that makes sense. So far, though, yay, nay?
Oh, I like it so far. I mean, the first few minutes is I don't want to say slow, but just more normal. But but then it's it just bam, and they're running. It's just
I like it a lot so far. That first half hour's
kind
of sad, kind of very sad. Very kind of sad.
We won't spoil anything, but something sad happens, and then there's a lot of action, and it's really good. They really just kick it off with a lot of action. After
you'll watch it by Sunday, so we can talk about it Sunday, y'all.
Yes, we want to talk about it without having to worry about spoilers, because
on Sunday we'll all just discuss.
I love the way it was shot. The acting. I think the acting's even better, if that's possible this hour.
Yes, I agree.
It's even though it's the same people, but everybody's more mature, I guess. I think the writing is better. The look of the show is better. It's just
it's more mature. There have been people who are frustrated with it, and my roommate's one of them. We watched it yesterday. He was like, "What is this?" I was like, "Just as good, if not better." I really enjoyed it, and I wouldn't say better. It's just as gritty, I feel like now, but it feels like it has room to breathe, where those first 3 Daredevil seasons are freaking phenomenal and forever will be. There's just a lot going on all the time, and it's either fight, heal, fight, heal. Right. You don't get to spend much time with him as a lawyer, and it's interesting, and it is such a big part of his character.
Right.
And it's nice that we get to take a little bit of this time to slow down and see him actually work. The way I guess it was reported before they reshot it all was that it was going to be far too much a procedural drama and not much action wise. And I can see how that, just from what they've set up, would have been the case. But it seems
Stargate Aliens.
Yeah.
I don't even. This next one, I barely even remember these people. So it's like whatever.
Well,
In
before we jump
Karen.
to the next people,
Yeah.
who are you going to be?
Yeah. I don't
We
know.
got to think about this. We got to think about it. We got options. But while we're thinking about it, the Inkaran.
Which I barely remember these. It's like, why are these people on the list? It's like they don't stand out to me. I mean, I vaguely remember it, but why are I don't get why they're even.
They're just humans.
Yeah.
Great, more Marvel
Yellow
homework.
eyes. Okay.
Understand everything.
Mm.
Who? Yeah, the Inkaran. Like actually though, ethnic alien immigrants. Like
yeah. It's like,
number 4, number 14, number 18. Like whatever. Like we just go through all these planets.
It's like, all right, what do we put in 18? Go down the list. Inkaran, there we go. We'll put them. Okay.
What is Inkaran spelled backwards is really okay. It's not a word. It just seemed like one of those words. Is like, oh, that's spelled this backwards.
Okay, all right. Okay.
Hey, Traveler says you look like Rhea Seahorn in Bad Boys Ride or Die.
Bad Boys Ride or Die. All right, you gotta pull up a picture.
That just means now you got to go slap Will Smith and then get a role in the next Bad Boys movie. It's an effective thing, I believe. So I hear. They were on that planet that was getting terraformed. Okay. That actually gives them a little bit more
all right
leeway, I guess. But like, it's not even because of them. It's because there was a cool alien species that was terraforming the planet that really makes them noticeable.
Yeah.
The Furlings. We've kind of talked about the Furlings.
Yeah.
So speaking of the cool alien species that was terraforming a planet, the Gadmir.
Them. Yeah.
What the hell did we do with the Gadmir again in the series? It ended up being a. Did they kill them?
I don't remember. I just remember like Daniel was talking to the guy on the ship, trying to stop it from happening. And
did they find a planet for them?
I know they end up saving it, but I don't remember how. Does Daniel convince them to stop or find another planet?
I want to say they migrate the Ankarans off world.
Okay, maybe that's what they do.
They help resettle the others.
Okay.
Thank y'all. Okay. Booyah. There's a delay. That like 5-10 second delay is like all at once.
Yep. Yeah.
Okay. That's what I thought. I couldn't remember if they ended up just not killing everybody. I thought they may have killed the Gadmir, but yeah, they did that.
Yeah.
That's right, because they had been relocated from their home world at some point by the Goa'uld or something like that, and then.
Oh yeah, the Goa'uld were. Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah. And good evening, Bojangles. How are you?
The only thing the Goa'uld did, I guess, right? Then spread humans throughout the galaxy.
Which may not, I guess, in retrospect, be all that friendly towards the other species everywhere.
Yeah, exactly.
Does that make us fire ants? Are human beings fire ants? I don't like that comparison. I'm going to throw that one out.
Yeah.
I don't want to be a fire ant.
Yeah.
Okay, the Goa'uld.
15? The Goa'uld are 15? Really?
What is it just all the species, or what's like the
maybe they're not in any kind of I don't think they're in any kind of order, I guess. But it's like Goa'uld are higher than 15 if you're anyway, doesn't matter. Okay.
P3X888. I'm surprised we never actually named the Goa'uld homeworld. Huh.
They have a homeworld? I never even really.
Because it was where the Unis was. It was the same homeworld as the Unis, right?
Oh yeah, maybe. Does Ra name his planet? Does Ra ever name? I guess he doesn't name it. They're just showing him as a Goa'uld. Okay.
Yeah, because we just get P3X888. I don't think.
Mm-hmm.
Still, that's so the movie.
Yeah, no, I think you're right about the Unis planet because they're like, there's those wild ones or whatever that live in the lake or whatever.
Yeah. So how does that genetic memory work there? That kind of throws me off too.
Right. Or was it a technology that they because they supposedly always just take other people's technology and adapt it.
Yeah. Which is, does that mean the Unas were? I guess it does mean the Unas were more technologically advanced at some point in time, which means the Ghoul purposely
or maybe it just gave them a vehicle and somehow some other species landed on that planet and I don't know. Who knows?
Well, because the first Ghoul is still down there, but it's almost like he's been imprisoned by.
They're like not as evolved or whatever. So it'd be interesting to know like it'd be interesting to kind of know like what was that journey from the lake to what they became. I don't know.
Yeah, because I feel like part of it has to be what you just said, where some advanced civilization at some point drops the Asgard, the ancients, whoever, come drop down, and yeah, Una's reverse card. They hunted the Gould. We need to make our own version of Uno and just make it Unas.
Yeah.
have Stargate Uno. Selective breeding? But wasn't that later on?
Yeah, just how did they get from the lake to being more like, I guess they were some level ascensions in the lake? I don't know, but...
Oh! Stanley's may have just solved it for us. Queen symbiote gets into a host, moves to another world, switch host, gives birth.
Yeah.
All its babies have that same genetic memory the Queen experienced. Oh, that's a great point, too. We were talking about genetic memory earlier. They don't all share necessarily the same genetic memory either. It's the genetic memory of the Queen they came from.
Right. Yeah, that's true. But it'd be interesting to explore the Queen. Like, do we see a Gould Queen? I know we see a Tok'ra Queen. But we know they exist, but I don't know if we ever see one. But,
let me Google. Yeah. Gould Queen. We do.
Okay.
Hathor.
Oh yeah, duh.
I totally forgot about it because obviously, looking at all these, the Queen, the Tok'ra Queen, that's kind of been imprisoned, just pops up and everything. But then Hathor's in the bathtub and she's having all the different Gould babies.
So the idea that she has like one of those blob things, like in her blob or whatever, the outside of a host, they're like that stomach-looking thing. She must have one of that. Must be inside her then.
Yeah. Ooh. Okay. Oh, what is?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That something like. I don't know exactly. Yeah, Progeria was that one. Bladder Mom. Oh no, that was a great episode. And Hathor. There we go.
Hathor. Yeah.
The Queen was used for Tritonin, right?
Yeah. But I think they.
Progeria.
Yeah, it is. Never mind.
Right.
No, you're right. I was thinking of something for a second, but I wasn't. I'm not right.
Hankin to become physically advanced host for the Ghoul. Oh, that's right, and that's Cassandra.
Yeah, let's just say it was that girl. Okay, yeah.
Jafar, Kree. Oh, somebody said it earlier. You think Braytak has any babies? He's had to have made his way around the world.
With how old he is, I would think. I mean, they never get into his family, but I would think that he has a wife and kid. He's probably like got grandkids or great grandkids.
I would think so. My I guess headcanon from when I was watching the show was always I think he's got kids, but they're probably first primes for different Goulds. They're probably too far gone.
Right. It'd be interesting to explore that, though, but I don't know if they ever really say, but you kind of get that feeling that he probably has a family, but
and also kind of not, because Teal'c is totally a pseudo-son.
Yeah.
But maybe that's like, all right, all my kids are out of the house, and even though, like, you're my best friend, you're also, like, my successor in my role as First Prime. So like I
Right.
do see you as like a son-like kind of thing. It's just an interesting character dynamic in a lot of ways. Tony Amendola, though.
It'd be interesting to find out. Yeah.
Very. Oh, it'd be super interesting. And Tony Amendola, he's shown no signs of slowing down. Give that man.
Yeah, he's still going.
Because Braytak's awesome.
Yep.
I thoroughly love Eno Cordova as well in the Jedi Fallen Order and Jedi Survivor series, but both very good. Subspecies exist too. Yeah. I think that sounds right as well. And maybe that's why he was so disheveled.
Yeah, that's what made him disillusioned with the whole system, maybe.
Wait, inside the symbiote uses the host reproductive organs. Outside, they grow their own. Oh, that's spooky to think about. Hey, it's gonna make your skin crawl a little bit. Just like the Gould would like, of course. You know, the Narita.
Oh, that one. That's that one episode with that guy makes himself like the. Was that the one where he makes himself like the fifth member of the team or something? Was it that one?
No, because that's the Ritu or the not. I think they have these backwards. Maybe not, because Tyler was part of this.
Oh, okay.
The real, maybe because these are the Foothold. I could have sworn Ritus were these guys, or did we had that big old conversation? I guess the other day, and that might have literally been that. Yep. No, the alien that made them.
Oh no, it's the spirits episode.
Yeah.
That spirits episode. They were playing that they were the spirits to the people, to the Gould, they were the Native American spirits.
I see. Okay.
That's what I was trying to. My brain wasn't putting the words together right, but that's
Yeah, because it looks like a Nox, and I remember at one point they have the Nox have to I guess the one time like you mentioned earlier that Nox do come back. Oh, that was an awful episode.
That's one of the worst. Yeah, that was on the list of, I think that was like one of the finalists for the worst episodes of that season. I can't remember what we ended up going with, but that was like really bad. I'm looking at it here
because the Nox, I believe, come back because they have to work as they work as the intermediary.
Oh, okay.
Right? Because they're like, oh, okay, we won't actually participate, but we'll be the intermediary for you or something like that.
Yeah, I think that was it.
Don't remember exactly how that pans out or happens. Speaking of the Nox, I guess we have talked about them fairly extensively. Just keep going.
Yeah.
We talked about them pretty well, honestly. This one is the one I really wish we would have been able to see again. I really like the One episode. It's random. It doesn't necessarily equate to much later on. Baroka. Yeah, Baroka. Or Amaroka. There it is. That's the one. Amaraka. Or what? I love all of that with Daniel. It's so good. It's just so good. What fate? Almond Roca. I love autocorrect sometimes. But they're just such a cool species. They remind me of the Unas underwater. It feels like they may have been. To me, it's like, oh, well, maybe the Gould left the homeworld with the Unas and actually were an advanced species and kind of left some of their people behind, and they kind of went back. Because I guess when we see the Unas, he at least still has clothing and they're clothed at least. So there's some kind of intelligence. Maybe their intelligence just falters over time because their gods, their system lords, whatever, are not there to help them anymore. And over time, the ones that whenever the Google found better host, the ones that had already like escaped and made it to different planets, so on and so forth. Maybe they evolved to the One. I don't know. That's my
headcanon.
Pull out of somewhere and hope for the best, you know. But no, the One are cool. Would you have liked to have seen them again?
It would have been interesting to revisit it, but they kind of made them just a monster of the week.
Yeah. It reminded me of God, what is his name? Comtria, but in an alien way. Aye. Who's up next? We got our Ori, who we did talk about a little bit. Not a whole bunch, but enough. Anything? I guess we talk about the Ori so much. Any hard opinion on them outside of here?
I think it was good. I mean, I liked how they kind of did the religious fanaticism thing in a way, which, you know, remember, this was only like a couple years after 9/11 happened. So like everybody was talking about, you know, religious fanaticism and, you know, all that stuff. So it was a good way to do it without it being so obvious. Well, I mean, I guess it was obvious, but I mean, coming up with this different, you know, making it like evil ancients and all that was good.
Yeah, I'm with you. I thoroughly enjoy them, but it's definitely not what it was. I like the, I guess, avenue they go for, but I guess kind of like what Joey says, it does lack General Hammond and Jack. Their essence made it very hard to take serious.
Yeah.
I think that's part of it, though. They come off so silly, and just coming from like your natural human kind of perspective, you're like, oh, what are, I mean, I was about to go into a bunch of French expletives there. They're silly as can be, but also that shows how strong they are whenever you kind of approach them with that silliness and that kind of nonchalant, like, all right, wave your staff at me, Gandalf, you know, and then he does, and you light into fire, and you're like, okay, not as silly as it was 20 seconds ago. I can see why people aren't the biggest fans, but I'm a fan of them. I do wish it was an SGC show rather than SG1 for it.
Yeah, that would have been cool, but
yeah. The Foothold Aliens. Yeah, we're trying to get there in a second. I think they actually might be next-ish.
Yep. Yeah, that's them. Those are the Foothold Aliens, yeah.
But y'all help us out. Are the Ritu the Ritu and the Real the Real, or are the Ritu the people that are being labeled as the Real here, and the Foothold Aliens are actually called the Ritu? Because I kind of feel like we did have that conversation like 3 weeks ago, but it was such a like amalgamation of thoughts that I can't remember.
They're two separate things, I think.
Hallowed of the Ori. False. Hallowed of the Ori. Too much soap. Okay, so the Ritu are invisible. They are the Foothold Aliens. Okay, the Reol. I need to get what in my brain says Ritu, or the picture that in my brain that pops up when I hear the word Ritu as Reol instead, and vice versa.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, the Ritu are invisible. These are the Foothold Aliens. But are the That's who we're thinking.
Real are the ones that secrete that thing that can give people false memories. Totally different thing. The Real, that was that guy. What we were saying his name was?
Jeff Golka, right? Yeah, but isn't he's a baby one of these guys, right? He's not a baby. This guy.
They're totally different. They're totally different alien species. They're not related.
I'm just so confused why they're labeled the way they are, I guess. Ritu is the mother of Charlie, the bald kid.
Yeah, he was like a clone. They created him like in a lab, though, or something, didn't they? Because he died he only lasted so long, and then he died. You know, they sent him to give a message or to communicate or something, and then he died. Or am I? Or is,
I need to watch those.
oh wait,
Couple
maybe
episodes.
that's a different. Oh no, that's not. That's a different alien race that sent the boy. It's not the Ritu. It's were they mentioned earlier? Or we talked about them earlier, I think. They're like those insect-like. Oh, maybe that's the
Insect like
I clicked on it once, but I
not
can't
the
remember.
not the Nakai, right? Not the any of these. No, what are these are. This article also definitely doesn't have every single alien.
Yeah.
Boney Maroney alien was simply a survivor who secreted a substance that made them see a human soldier and felt he was a team member.
Right.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
Tyler. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So we're actually talking about 3 different alien races, because there's the ones that they're like invisible insects and they send the boy to communicate with humans, but he's just a lab creation and he dies. And then the Ritu are the ones where they have that is that the one where they have that device that makes them look like other people?
I think so. Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
The Ritu are not the Ritu in this article. The pictured aliens are Foothold. Okay, I wasn't going crazy at least. Because that threw me off completely. But now I can't picture the third set of aliens that you're talking about.
I don't think they really show them, but don't they build a device that allows them to be seen so they can shoot them? But
And
I
that's
forget why they sent the boy. I forget why, first to help them or something. And then the Ritus, it's that those devices that they wear that makes them look like other people, isn't it? Or no?
this kid. What is his species?
They create him. Like the Ritu create him. He's like a clone, or like they make him in a lab kind of, so he can communicate with them.
Oh. Yeah, my memory's filling in the gaps right now because I had forgot about that. I don't know why. I thought he was a little. That picture comes to mind more, and I don't know why I felt like it was like an alien kind of.
He ends up like the clone breaks down or whatever, like after so much time, and
he. Yep, yeah. Oh my god, yeah. That's some good episodes. I just completely and utterly forgot. Like actually, so we never actually see Ritu. Okay. Okay. I'll be honest, I don't know if I remember these guys at all.
I know. I'm
looking at him. I'm like, is this from Star Trek Enterprise? Like, what?
Okay. If I can remember what episode, let me see if I can.
The Saracen are a reptilian alien race who live in harmony on their home planet with a group of humans, whom they had rescued from the Ghoul thousands of years before the start of SG-1. Over time, the two species began to interbreed, resulting in a society of more human-like Saracen without scales. Though Earth's initial interaction with these aliens was negative, they ultimately worked things out to become allies fighting together against the villainous Ori. Who the hell are these guys fighting against the Ori?
First appeared in the episode Forsaken, so I'm looking that up. Oh, okay, I remember this now. How do I explain it?
Like I just did a little Google search.
Oh, where's the recap of this? Forsaken is the episode.
Forsaken. Oh my god.
Is that when there's like they have that crashed ship or something, or am I thinking of something else?
This.
Yeah.
I super vaguely remember this. I remember these guys and the weapons. I don't remember the aliens.
I think it was like a prison transport ship or something that crashed, and there was a couple guys that were the prisoners that were pretending to be good guys, and I don't know if they're the.
It was a maximum lame episode. No, no.
It's like I kind of remember. It's like I remember. I just don't remember the exact details. I'd have to like.
Yeah, Joey may have had a point here. They had throwaway episodes you totally forget, and that was probably close to the most forgettable. Yep.
Yeah, It wasn't like a episode you really like need to remember, really, but I kind of remember it. They're just another alien species we kind of run into. I don't think they're really anything special that I remember. Anyway. Okay.
Yeah, that's wild. I can't believe there's an entire species that's like, huh?
Yeah.
After they looked more familiar when I was just scrolling through the article the first time too, and you actually like put your eyeballs on them for half a minute, and you're like, wait a second. They were catching flack about too many humanoid aliens. They didn't have too many any aliens. Just give us more. What? But yeah, I guess literally all the aliens they had were just.
Yeah, and they could have mixed it up a bit more with the aliens, I think. But the idea is that, the Gould spread humans throughout the universe, so that's why everybody's human. And the gates all go to places where they've been, so. But that still doesn't mean there shouldn't be other aliens that interact, I guess. But
yeah, there should be a lot more, but still, we are the fire ants of the galaxy. I hate that so much. We're the fire ants. Damn it. Makes sense though. Then we have the guys who tried to trade Naquita for a ship. Yeah. Or no, Quadria for a ship, and they came back when Carter teamed up.
They stole. Oh no, they didn't. No, that was Vala that stole the. But they were in that episode anyway.
Yeah, I need to rewatch that stuff. Damn, I can't believe that's like an arc that's just not there. Or it's probably there once I actually watch it. But like, damn, it's just so much. I don't know if it's right to call these guys a whole different species. They're just goo old. They're bastardized goo old in a way.
Yeah. Anubis created them, right?
From juvenile symbiotes, I believe.
Right.
I'm a chef, not a doctor. The Tok'ra. Oh, we've talked about them. They're the Gould. Unas.
We've kind of hit on that a bit too.
I still love the Unas, though. If any species were to get more screen time, give me the Unas. Give me the Unas. They're so cool. I'm a fan. They're obviously I started with Stargate. But I like the Unas more than I like the Klingons. And I've only gotten Klingons from, Enterprise so far and, just this first two seasons. But still, I really, really do enjoy the Unas.
It would have been cool to see more. I mean, we do see that one Unas in the cave or whatever that is a host. But it would have been interesting to see more, there's, really ancient, Unas hosts still out there.
Yeah, and maybe one's been surviving a sarcophagus or something like that.
Right.
What Egyptian gods do they not do that they could do with that? Looks like the Grinch. Damn it! I'm never gonna not see that again. I'm never gonna not see that again now.
It does kind of. But this was before. Was this before that Grinch movie? No, I don't know.
I think so, because that was 2001 or 2, right?
I don't know. Now I gotta.
I'm too young for that one. I've grown up with that Grinch just in existence since I've been alive, or since I can remember at least. Unis and Gould were
Yeah, it was
evenly.
in 2000 that the Grinch movie came out, so it's around the same time.
The Unis was
Yeah.
season 1, I believe.
The first time, but that's we
the
really
one
get
in
a
the
good
cave.
look at that one. I guess we do, but
Yeah, that's the dude in the cave. That's the original
Yeah.
Gould. Yeah. But if we were gonna bring back an Unis, bring back the entire society and let Chaka lead the series, not lead the series, but lead the society in the series. So good, so good.
Yeah.
Chaka, and every time he said Chaka, it reminded me of Land of the Lost with Chaka from that show, and not the best version of Land of the Lost by any means. But give me Danny McBride and Will Ferrell any day of the week, and I'm going to walk away an hour and a half after, twice as happy, and I will be grinning ear to ear. And Land of the Lost does that. It's so good. We'll have to think up. That might be a fun episode. We could create like an Unis deity, each one of us, and then try to figure out which one might fit the best. And then we submit them to the people writing the show and see if they'll add them. You know?
Yeah.
Fingers crossed.
Let's just start our own writer's room right now.
Gotta say, doing it live might be bad, but also doing it live on Patreon. We're not do everything there, but still. Outside of the Unis, though, this one was wild. This kind of brought that same idea. Who was
this one was weirdly creepy when the crystal becomes like a face and stuff. It kind of like was like, oh, is this good or bad? I don't know. But they're just a very different form of life, I guess, is what
It's magic rocks. They remind me of the or whatever from the beginning, and then also the wind and water guys from SGU. They're similar, but like the rock version of those. And I guess they are creepier because they like to form a face. I guess the wind and water dudes formed a face.
It's an interesting idea. Yeah, didn't hate it. You remember it.
How sentient were they again? I don't necessarily remember. They were sentient, I think.
Yeah.
Because this was the same world as the One, right? Or no?
But it says okay.
No, not the same world. Wasn't there an alien on this planet too? The Unity becomes allies to Earth? When and where do we ever see Unity again?
I don't think we ever. Maybe it just ends on that. I don't remember. I think there was like this misunderstanding, and then trying to figure. And then I think Sam figures out what they are and how they work and stuff or something. Anyway.
Yeah, it says they have the Unity at SGC here. And of course, Jack gets taken over so they can understand his emotional pain.
I guess we never told that they brought back. I guess
they do. That's just Red Stanley's thing. Get your lightsabers ready. Kyber crystal's located. I mean, they're a living crystal. That almost makes more sense. Yeah. Like, if they were going to do it, if they're going to do lightsaber of any kind or some funny BS version of that, Unity may be the way to do that. Like a living sword.
They are distinctly alien species of intelligent crystalline beings.
Intelligent.
Which makes me think of the crystalline entities from Star Trek. You don't know that, but
the colorized monolith monsters, is that the same thing? Yeah. They were destroyed because they heard a Jaffa. Yeah, and the Gould were mostly taking them out. Yeah. Almost shocked they didn't use the lightsaber thing in 200. Honestly, we have the opportunity. We have the opportunity to see it. That's it. Number 2. Number 1.
Which probably is the best alien, right? I mean, aside from the Goa'uld, probably the best, most fleshed out kind of who and what they are aliens.
Arguably even more fleshed out because they managed to give
Mhm.
you a lot more information in 5 seasons, and it feel
Mhm.
like a decent pace of it too.
Mhm.
Bring on the Omeokon next.
All right, I'll have to look up what those are.
Omeokon?
I'm going to the gate
Oh,
world.
I titled Omeokon and a bunch of flutes popped up.
Oh,
Oh, okay. This is the Nim. Is that the species? Because One, I guess, was his. Is One or.
oh,
Yeah, I think we technically talked about him.
mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, and there's the old first ones right there.
Mm-hmm.
Did we miss any? Because obviously there
I
are.
mean, that was like the major ones that were hit, but a couple on that Screen Rant list. I'm like, why? You know, they didn't put the Abadonians on there.
No, and if you're gonna
Yeah.
put, I guess the reason they put like
Yeah.
Cassie and Tok'ra
Mm-hmm.
and what was the other one? Not the Asian, the Ankaran, I guess, are all there for particular reasons, but
But they didn't put the Ashen.
the ones I was confusing everybody with, which I guess let's go here real quick. Anybody that we should look at that we missed real quick, y'all? We have hit 2 hours, so if we need to get out of here, we can always get out of here.
Yeah.
But the Tolans missed out Jigsaw, the bureaucrats, the giant. Omeokon, that's what just popped up. That's what we were searching, I believe, a minute ago.
I don't see that listed here. Unless maybe it's a different spelling.
No, I don't see it either. But I think that's the Oanuses. I think that's what he was thinking about, though. Because this is the species name.
Right. What are the Elysians or whatever next one is? I'm curious.
What is it? You said mimetic aliens earlier.
Yep.
Oh, that's what they were popping up as. That's right.
Yep.
Oh, I forgot about Michael's hybrid and stuff. Obviously.
Oh, yeah. There's also those people. It's a season 6 episode with the Goa'uld that does those medical experiments on everybody. I forget her name.
Nearty, right?
Nearty or whatever. Yeah, there's like those people that she's experimented on that live on that planet.
Oh, and they're so cool. I mean, I don't know if cool is the right word. They
Right.
have really cool powers.
Yeah.
Daniel's grandfather went on the mission for the Omeokons.
Are those the giants? Is that what we're talking about?
Giant mist aliens?
Here, the giant aliens. I think they're just giant aliens. They're on the Gate World list.
They are?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
We made a joke about the...
Oh, they are called Omeokon.
Yeah. We made a joke about the gate and giant aliens, and anyway.
Okay. I'm surprised. When we typed Omeokon in a minute ago, it just popped up with the One. Oh, no. That's the true cave dwellers. I was thinking cave dwellers, like those people that were being tested on Manierty. Yeah.
They're people of something, or let me see if I can. It's one I clicked on before, and now. Oh, it's is it this one? It's right under Abadonians, that Alabrand's people.
Oliveira. What?
Yeah.
Alabrand's people. They could use some aloe vera. Yeah, once a proud culture, they were mutated by the Goa'uld Nearty's genetic experiments.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they got screwed over.
Yep.
Screwed over.
Mm-hmm.
Aloe vera aliens. Yes, of course.
Nope.
Yeah. They need a little bit more than aloe vera on them.
Yeah.
What are the ancestors? Okay, I was like ancients, ancestors, all the same thing.
What they were before they became ancients, kind of thing.
That's
Yeah.
the same actor. That's the same dude.
Yeah.
He just looks like he's so done with everything right there.
Yeah.
Okay, Antoniacs. Any other like particular aliens, if I can speak words, aliens that y'all would like to look at? Holler and let us know, because this list is huge. But it's about 2 hours. We've hit this thing pretty well. Most of these other aliens, like we I guess talked about earlier, are human folk.
Mm-hmm. The veneer we didn't hit on either, but
Oh, that's true. Daedalus variation aliens.
yeah,
What do they pop up as?
those are those ones with the
Because those were
where Daniel says
great.
he's Han Solo or Solo something. Like it's the episode we first get Vala.
Yeah.
Yeah. Those aliens. I don't know what those guys are called. I mean, there's a list here, but I don't know. You'd have to look up the episode and then
Alternate timeline aliens SG-1.
I don't think it's an alternate timeline. I think it's a season 8 episode.
I guess it says unknown aliens on there.
Okay. I think they show up again too when they have to go on that sort of treasure hunt for those parts or whatever that Vala sold.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it shows that they're in contact with Earth and Atlantis. Weren't they supposed to be variants on Wraith?
I don't think so.
Yeah, we did put them on the tier list. Blueberry aliens.
Yeah.
That's right. Yep. Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, the Nakai weren't on there. Great point, Stanley's. I'm pretty sure I put the Nakai on the frickin' thumbnail as well. Let's go ahead and bring them up, because that's just an easy one.
Oh, the fish, the SGU fish aliens.
Like, friendly-ish? Kind of friends because we have the same enemies?
Yeah.
Nox. I think most of these are just different variations of humans. Anybody else we missed, kind of like the Nakai, though, that y'all can think of before we jump out? The tilapia aliens? That they were. They were.
That's a better name than fish.
Well,
yeah.
You put some butter in their name as well and fry them up, and I'll eat some fish. That sounds pretty nice. Mm-hmm. The Ursini. I know that. What? Hold up. I'm trying to think of what it is.
Oh, it's SGU. Telford meets them. They're on that other ship they find. He ends up being friends with them.
Yeah, and living with them for a while. Yeah. The little aliens.
Yeah.
The creepy little Lou Diamond Phillip aliens. The veneer.
Yeah.
We watched the Ursini's species die out, right?
Yeah, because they sacrificed themselves because they were at war with those drones or whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Or what are those drones? What were those drones called? Just drones.
I think they're just they're at the top, I believe. Real quick, I know the veneer were just mentioned, so toss the veneer up here. Asgards with a little extra tech. They are what are they called when people put tech on themselves again? I mean, obviously cyborg, but there's another term. Mm-hmm. Oh, there's Anubis drones. Oh, and those are the Call
Call
Warriors.
Warriors, yeah. So they do different. Some I bet you they're listed as Call Warriors. Also, yeah.
What is Air's box race?
Yep.
Some
of these I'm like, who are they again? Yeah, again, like you're saying, a lot of them they're just different versions of humans, and that is what most of the aliens are. I was just trying to think if those drones in SGU like actually had a name, but
Thank you. That's what I was looking for. I was like, I swear I was just looking for something. I got distracted by looking at other aliens.
Yeah.
Drones.
But those Ursini people ended up doing it for nothing because then there were still those drones out there. So it was like you died for nothing. Yay.
It's like, come on, y'all. I'm hoping there are more, I can't even say it, Ursini somewhere. It just would be a really cool thing for them to actually have allies. Berserker drones. Oh my God, that's the easiest damn thing. Thank y'all so much. I lied. It's not the easiest damn thing. It's nowhere to be seen.
Yeah, they don't have it.
Can we type? I feel like drones is just going to bring up ancient drone weapon.
Yeah.
Hey, drone ship.
Drone ship. I don't know. I guess we don't. It's an unknown race. Okay, they're unknown.
But yeah, but we call them
didn't the Ursini let us know who they were? Or what? Yeah.
Following the war,
they created by. They were created by us. I guess that's just the unknown race. But weren't they like an unknown race created them and then just they wiped each other out, but the drones stayed behind or whatever, something like that?
Yeah, unseen creators of hostile automated drones. My thought process wasn't that, I think we're kind of insinuated that there's some ancient species that wanted to take out other advanced civilizations, so they programmed these things to do this over time.
Right.
Maybe. I think it was the planet builders. But I don't know. That might be too low tech for a planet builder.
Yeah, because I kind of picture, well, I guess we don't really know, but like the planet builders are kind of even, higher up than like ancients. They're really godlike.
The what do we just call him again? The wind cloud giant guy.
Giant aliens. Yeah,
that feels more like what I would think of the planet builders would be.
It would be cool to tie that together, that the giant aliens are the planet builders, and yeah, there we go.
Don't hard reboot. Just you have so much to work with. So much to work with.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, nice theory. The drones were created by the rogue agents to stop Destiny from completing its mission.
Definitely good story idea.
Yeah. Or what if the ascended ancients are the planet builders?
That's possible, but what we've seen of the ancients wouldn't really. They seemed less than that because they seemed so caught up in their politics and non-intervention, and
well, that might
be very like they don't seem like planet buildery,
Maybe they're minor squabbles and stuff like that is because they are planet buildery, though. We're thinking like
it could be
because time, I don't think matters to the ancients. I think when you're ascended, I don't know if time's even a thing anymore.
Or just over time, they just started to kind of turn in on themselves so much they've kind of lost something,
There's a lot of cool ways we could do it. There's a lot of cool
I know.
ways.
Yeah.
Bring it back. Come on, Amazon. You got Bond. You got that all the way down. So let's do Stargate. Let's do the big thing you got. That's not Bond. It's literally the second thing that could make you the most amount of money outside of the best handled franchise in the world for the last 60 years. You have the thing that makes you the second most amount of money outside of the single best handled IP in the entirety of human existence as of now, which is Bond. You got number two just ready for you, waiting. Bring back Stargate. We want Stargate. Hashtag we want Stargate. You'll know the deal. Come on. How much more can we tweet at you? Or holler in cameras? Oh, well. I didn't forget Legally Blonde, David. There's no way.
I keep having this hope that, we're just going to become like where we just have all given up. We're completely disheartened. And bam, out of the blue, an announcement. It's probably not going to happen. I keep having that dream that maybe they're just waiting till nobody expects it. And then boom.
I'm supporting the dream. I'm back in the dream. I'm with you. Please. Please. It's just, I don't know what they're going to do. I don't know. I don't think they know what they want to do either. Like we were talking the other day, though, with Kathleen Kennedy and Salky, like, hopefully this puts a fire under Salky just a little bit and say, hey, okay, I don't want to leave with a legacy like that.
Yeah.
Let me do something, because I don't want to be mean, because like shit, like people are people, obviously, and hell, with production levels that large and that like elaborate, I guess is a good word for that. It's next to impossible to organize all these people together over and over and over again. But nonetheless, smaller studios do it on a frequent basis with half the type of people, with a tenth the type of money. Why are we taking so long, Miss Salky? Like, please. Anyway, MGM bring back Bond and Stargate, and that will be its prime. It will win the streaming war. There will be no streaming war after that. We're set. But don't bring Bond to streaming, please. Please, please, please. Keep it just a movie every 3 to 5 years. There's a reason it is the single best handled IP in human existence.
More isn't always better.
Marvel's proven that the last 5 years.
Yep. Trying to make, it doesn't work. I like the idea of going to like a young Bond and kind of doing that route, kind of, I don't know if you want to call it a reimagining or a more modern reworking of it or something. I think it would be. But who's going to be the next Bond? But
that's a good question too.
Yeah.
Monk just said Bond will never be the same without the Broccoli's. It's now content, unfortunately. And I think you just sent me into a little miniature existential crisis. I'm not ready for that. Come on now. Oh, it was really funny. This last week, my roommate made me laugh. He was like, "Oh, John Lithgow is Dumbledore now. I'm gonna audition for Bond." I was like, "Go for it." I was like, "Shit, might as well at this point."
It's not a bad choice for Dumbledore. They're doing a television. They're basically doing the books in a television series, right? Instead of movies. Okay,
and
I think he's a good choice. He's a good choice for that. I think
he's gonna do well. It's John Lithgow. It's John freaking Lithgow.
Because you need somebody to be Dumbledore has to be just a little bit odd, and he kind of fits that.
And he's gonna be soft and friendly early on, and then totally be that scary Dumbledore that's been hiding a lot the last few years. Later on, and that's when like the Trinity Killer version of John Lithgow is going to come out for Dumbledore, and that's going to be interesting.
Yeah.
But I don't know why I'm so hung up on it. It's like he's not British. It feels like the lack of reverence. It feels like a lack of reverence to me, and I don't. That's not true even because John Lithgow was just Oscar nominated, and he's one of the best working actors of all time, and he's going to do a great job.
Right.
I just don't know if they're approaching it with reference, if that's the case.
Right.
And it throws me off a little bit.
Yeah, because he's going to have to fake an accent, which I'm sure he would do just fine, but...
Get some dialect coaches, so on and so forth.
But who would, in terms of British actors, fit that role?
The guy that really wanted to do it is Gary Oldman, Sirius Black.
Oh, yeah.
He said, I want to do... We're doing more Harry Potter. Let me be Gandalf.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
I love you, John Lithgow, so much. You're one of the best actors ever, dude.
Yeah.
Super appreciate you.
Yeah.
Give me Gary Oldman Dumbledore, 10 times out of 10.
Mm-hmm.
Jeremy Irons is like is maybe like a Voldemort, though? Like, that would not be a problem. I don't know.
All good ideas. Now that we've all of a sudden turned from, Stargate Outpost to Potterhead Pod.
Welcome to Potter Post. We've made it.
Stephen Fry would be great. Yeah.
Oh yes, like each season is a book monk. Yes, that's their approach. So it's going to be 8 seasons, correct? It's 8 books, right? Yeah, and then Deathly Hallows cut into 2 movies. Yeah, I believe it's 8 books. Ian McDermott as Dumbledore. He's too old. Well, he's about as old as Richard Harris was whenever he played him. And
right, yeah.
If you want your actor to die before the 3rd season, there you go.
Well, both actors that played him before are dead now, right?
Yeah, Gambon passed away 2 years ago, 3 years ago.
Recently, it wasn't that long ago. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That Ian McKellen was saying a bunch of good stuff about him after he passed. Yeah. He's like, "Well, Michael Gambon died, and I sign his autographs as." Or no. He had a funny story where Michael Gambon used to sign autographs as Gandalf for people because they just didn't know who was who. And when I believe Ian McKellen gets people coming up to say, "Hey, sign this as Dumbledore," he's like, "No, Michael Gambon's dead," and goes to the whole
They
thing.
did offer him the role of Gandalf, but I think he didn't want to do it because at that time he was also doing X-Men.
Oh, but Magneto.
And X-Men and Lord of the Rings, and so he didn't want to do that too. Yeah.
Just Magneto, Gandalf, and Dumbledore, just that trifecta. He would have had
cool, but he was like, "That's too much. I'm not gonna, So that's what
very well may have died just from like the amount of stress and work he would have been going through for those few years. But oh my god, it would have been so good. Connery as Gandalf. They did offer Connery Gandalf.
They did? Oh, thank God.
Yeah.
It would have been.
He said no because he didn't understand the script.
Right. He would have He is not. No. Mm-mm.
I love some Sean Connery.
Like that.
I don't think he could have brought the reverence to it. I
don't think he has any love of science fiction or fantasy. I'm not saying that the other actors did either, but I don't really know. But I think Ian McKellen had loved Lord of the Rings. I think, it's like, yeah.
He loved Lord of the Rings, and he was, I believe, a fan, and obviously everyone's a fan of, but a friend of Christopher Lee at the time as well. And Christopher Lee, if you're friends with Christopher Lee, I'm sure you're getting just Tolkien stories. Yeah. Sean was Scottish. He couldn't do Tolkien. You shall not pass.
No. Thank God that didn't happen. That would have been terrible. No. Mm-mm.
Doing a season of book for HP gives them almost unlimited time to do each book correctly instead of having to cut out the content like they did in the movies. Yeah, right. That's kind of the idea that they're going for. Yeah. I believe we'll get... is it Pevensey the ghost? Or Pevensey is a cat? Who is the ghost? I still haven't read the books. I would like to before the film or TV comes out.
It's been a long time since I've read the book, so I don't remember all the details.
When I need Harry Potter book stuff, I text my friend Shanley or knock on my next door neighbor's door, and I get one of them to answer. And both of them know Harry Potter. Like they are Potterheads, and they believe in the Pottermores.
Yep.
I have not seen Slow Horses, but yeah, you just said he was working.
That's great. I just watched it like not very long ago. I think I'm caught up on it, or did another season come out? I don't know. I think I'm caught up on it.
He's just so
Yeah.
good. Everything.
Yeah.
Slow Horses is it's Apple TV, right?
Yes.
That's why I haven't watched it. I have Apple TV and just completely forget about its existence most of the time. So they've gotten a lot of money off of me for me not watching the damn thing most months. But they're so good. Like, and I can't not pay for it, because if I want to actually go watch for a good show, every single one on Apple TV tends to be really good.
Yeah, I need to watch Foundation.
It's I think you'll really like it. You'll really like it, but it is it's not a slog. It's just slower, but it's like a purposeful, philosophical slow. Joey does not like Foundation. I think you'll still really enjoy it. I get not like.
I just need to see it. I think to see it. I don't know if I'll like it or not. But I feel like it's something I should see.
The whole cast is really good. Jared Harris is always solid, but Lee Pace, chef's kiss everywhere. The dude's great. If you read the books, you'll appreciate that they found a way to actually put the books into TV.
Right. I have not read the books, so
I have them all sitting upstairs on a shelf. I totally get it, Joey, but also they found the perfect way to translate it for modern. Which one? Oh, there we go. I saw Cat. Foundation should have a different name. I don't know. Halo maybe should have had a different name. Foundation was.
Yeah.
Hey, Attaway, Cal. Attaway. Monkey. It is Apple TV though.
Foundation, but HBO. The Harry Potter stuff's going to be on HBO, right? Because that's Warner Brothers. Okay. Yeah.
It's. No, I plead the fifth. I'm gonna move on. What else were we talking about right before that? My brain went straight to Foundation.
I don't know. I think we were ready to move on to a new subject or say goodbye. But anyway.
Yeah, because we are 2.5 hours in. Have you
seen what? Foundation? Is that where you're referring to?
What was the last thing that commented before that? Oh, literally the comment before that. Slow Horses. Sarah said she had.
Yeah, it's awesome. I love it. Exactly.
Yeah. Precisely. Yes. It's okay, just very slow. Some of the actors are not good. I don't like the two girls. Oh, really? Interesting. No, if you had to pick, which would you choose, Apple TV or HBO?
HBO, because there's more stuff.
I think HBO, just because of the more stuff and the extensiveness of the library they have.
Yeah.
But if we're talking about new shows coming out, I'd pick Apple TV over HBO every day. I'm only watching HBO for the Penguin and Game of Thrones stuff.
Oh, the Penguin! We forgot about the Penguin. Was so good.
So good. I almost forgot about it too, and then I was like, "What else?" In my brain. Oh, speaking of Cat, hello. Apple TV is all artsy and joke stuff. HBO is more traditional adventure stuff. They do have artsy and joke stuff, but
right.
I think there's more than just that.
Apple TV is making itself very much that. They're trying to fill that niche, I think.
Very.
I've seen that. Halt and Catch Fire was good.
I haven't seen the entirety of it, but it is so good, the bits I have seen. One of us. Glad I was able to convert you to the Cult of Penguin. You got two of us now. I think we actually. I
was like, I didn't know what to think of it at first, and I was like, oh, this is really cool. So anyway, see what they're doing more seasons of it, right? I hope.
Yeah. No, I think one. I think they did confirm a second season. What is more sad? The last half hour of Penguin or the first half hour of Daredevil? Born Again.
Daredevil.
I think so. Just because we sat with the dude for 3 seasons, and those 3 seasons.
Right. Spoilers.
Oh, I don't. What are you talking about? I totally did that well.
We didn't say names. We didn't say names. So. But those of you who've
Godzilla
seen
TV shows.
Daredevil know what we're talking about.
Yeah. If not, go check it out. But
Yes,
also,
watch it.
see you, B-Sod. Thank you so much for hanging out.
Yep.
Just want to say thank you for always having such fun streams. Be safe. You as well. And
Thank you.
thanks for making the streams fun. Y'all make it fun. We just get to hop on here and talk about the stuff y'all bring to us, you know? And obviously the topics we have at hand. But in an episode like today, where I think we spent 45 minutes talking about the aliens and the other hour and a half talking about all the other cool things that we were coming up with.
Rabbit.
It happens. Apple TV, pretty cheap, $54 a year. Yeah, it's really not bad. It's one of the better ones. That's 2.5 months of Netflix.
Yeah, we have that Apple One plan or whatever. That's like the music and the TV and kind of all together.
Nice. Wow, y'all have Apple One and YouTube Premium. Because I use YouTube Premium for that. Essentially.
I would be embarrassed to tell you how much we spend on all that every month. I don't even want to think about it.
I'm right there with you. Don't worry. Worry. I should worry as well. We should all just worry about it. It is called Monarch. I wasn't the biggest fan of Monarch. It should have been much more.
The name sounds familiar, but I don't remember what it's about.
This is the Godzilla show on Apple.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. It was all right. Anna Sawai, though.
Everybody just seems to have mixed anyway. I loved Godzilla -1. That was great.
So good. And if you want to watch a good show with the lead actress from Monarch, go watch Shogun, because that's one of the best seasons of television. That is.
Oh, I gotta finish watch. I started watching it like when it was on, and then I kind of got onto other things, and I never finished it. I gotta go back and finish it.
It's just one of those ones, like when you sit down to watch it, you know you're putting yourself in that headspace. You're just like, okay, it's gonna be really intense for the next hour or so.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm ready. You know, but like
everything looks so gorgeous. I mean, I love the whole, the Asian design of everything is just, love it.
You know where they filmed it?
Where?
Can you guess?
Did they film it in Japan? No.
Nope. They recreated Japan in British Columbia, Canada.
Oh, wow.
They probably shared some of the sets like Stargate did for different giant like forest scenes and stuff like that. So
probably,
it just cracks me up.
I know.
The butterfly effect.
I mean, Vancouver's like just right
around the corner.
Yeah, not that far away. Yeah.
BC is gorgeous. Gorgeous. I've been in like the corner of BC. Alberta is right next to it, right? Or
no,
is that the province? What's the province next to it? Provinces. I don't know Canadian provinces off the top of my head. Provinces.
I don't know.
Oh yeah, it is. It goes Alberta then BC on the left side. Okay, I've been to Alberta, and I think I've been in a little bit of BC. My family, my mom and dad, I guess, went on a cruise 7, 8, 10 years ago to Nova Scotia, and that's somewhere I would like to visit as well. Canada's gorgeous. It's an interesting place. There's a lot of ups and downs up there, just like there is here, but it is gorgeous. Twilight, really? Wow.
Well, Forks is an actual city here in Washington.
What is?
Forks. That's the town in Twilight where Belle's dad lives and stuff. Yeah, where she lives. Yeah.
Robert Pattinson this weekend. All right. Okay, well, let's end it on this. Well, we've kind of course, gone into just hanging and waffling a bit and rabbit holing, of course. But for our final thing, because Friday's Fallout, Radical Wasteland, and Sunday we'll have Sunday, of course, our Sci-Fi Sundays.
And then, well, Saturday are you doing that Fallout thing this Saturday?
Have anything, I guess.
Okay.
I might try to go live just while we're walking around for a little bit, but it's probably not going to be a long live if I'm able to. We do have my roommate looking like he's going to come with us, so we're going to have somebody filming us the entire time. and Greg and I will get to go walk around and do some fun stuff, and hopefully be able to make a really good video.
Have, like, just take a lot of video shots and have Chazz edit it together. Or whatever.
That's kind of the goal and game plan.
Yeah.
Good Mexican food too, and forks.
Yeah.
I
gotta go. I haven't been to like the Peninsula of Washington yet. I need to like do that.
how long have you lived in Washington?
I mean, when we moved here to Washington, like COVID happened like 3 months after I moved here. So I haven't really had a chance to really like travel. I need to, anyway, got to get on that. There's lots of things I want to see. I mean, I haven't been in the Space Needle yet. Like, my husband literally works like 2 blocks from the Space Needle.
Has he been in there?
No.
I'm can we have cool architecture again, please? I just want cool architecture. That's so cool.
Yeah. Olympic Peninsula, yes, I want to explore. That's rainforest and stuff. I really would like to be able to explore that like some weekend to get a planet.
Well, and of course the Museum of Illusions.
Oh yes.
Which is always an opportunity, I guess. Which would be fun. I hope y'all aren't watching this. We see your emails. We want to come. Just figuring it out.
I have not found Bigfoot yet. I've been to Bigfoot Java, which is like a coffee scene here that has really good coffee. I found Bigfoot Java.
You said not decent Java?
It's Bigfoot Java. It's a local chain of like coffee.
But was it decent? Did you say it was good or bad? Okay.
I like it. Yeah.
Cool.
Yes, I'm going to Emerald City Comic Con on Saturday. My daughter and I are going to be there all day. So.
Excitement level from 100,000 to 199,000 is the range we're going for.
Yep.
Bigfoot exists out here. I know people. Monk City's lived on Bigfoot for 13 years.
Oh
yeah. I mean, you gotta go. If you see Sarah at Emerald City Comic Con, say howdy. Yep. Be respectful and say howdy. Of course, that's the best way to do it.
Yeah. Even though Jay didn't get me my SciTrek T-shirt.
Just thinking that.
He never showed up today, by the way, either.
Yeah, no, I don't
blame him. His back is.
Oh, yeah, a hard week to send those out fast, and shipping from UK is a killer. That's the truth.
Mm-hmm.
That's the truth.
Yep.
Whatchamacallit?
We have to get our own little T-shirt thing going again here.
We really do. My brain went to that as well as like we need a few different T-shirts.
Right.
But the Fallout video, at least, will get to you sometime in the next week or so. And if there's, I don't know how much stuff, of course, throughout one day of Emerald City Comic Con, but if there is, send it, and we'll put it in the Google Drive.
Yeah, have to have you show me how to, or my husband. My husband is the techie guy, so he'll know how to do it. If I don't, or he'll show me how to do it. Yeah, I'll just take maybe. I don't know if I'll do any like recording myself talking about anything, or I'll probably just a lot of pictures, maybe some videos. Maybe I'll do a 10-second like, hey, here I am at Comic Con. I don't know,
like a fun little short or something. Well, shorts are up to 3 minutes now, which is insane. But yeah, that's fun. I'm trying to think of some stuff for later this year. I really want to make LA Comic Con as fun as possible if we're all able to make it work. And fingers crossed.
Okay, I don't know if I'm going to be able to, but I could be there.
And spirits. But one way or another, because it's in the weekend. If we can make something to work one way or another, we're gonna figure it out. Hopefully, because if we can get the roundtables going, that'd be really neat.
Yeah.
Amazon will print your T-shirts locally to wherever the person orders them from. Yeah.
Like spring or whatever, but there's a cut, and I don't know how that works exactly, but yeah.
I don't know exactly how we want to do it either. Yeah.
I think most channels do that, right?
Like Teespring or something like that, where you have a design and you can put that design on a slew of products, and that product you can just choose and kind of have the color, the size, whatever you like. Yeah, I don't know, because I have friends that actually make clothing as well, and it would be really fun to
Right.
have better quality clothing.
Hmm.
But how much more do we have to charge for that? And then on top of that, you add shipping on top of that as well. And
Right. And then managing it all, it's just easier to have somebody else do it. I mean, you got to pay for that, but
yeah,
anyway, anyway.
I hate to simplify it that much and just
Right.
be like, yeah, have the assembly line version of it, but also
Right.
it's not realistic just yet to do that. In 3 or 4 or
Right.
5 years, maybe. Let's talk.
Mhm.
Let's bring that back up. But yeah,
Right.
let's get the thing going again.
If we get enough subscribers, so please, people, we have a nice little community. We have fun on lives. Ask your friends, ask your family to come
Yeah,
on.
and just in case you're not, or you have friends that would like to, you can always just. I didn't forget about it in the stream. I did totally forget about it until that happened, but nearly 3 hours in, a halfway to do it yourself. Yeah,
Mhm.
that makes sense. There will be ways to do that, and Jamie and I have been talking about that and trying to get everything situated as well. The last week or two or so, and YouTube likes to complicate it because there's so many damn things that you got to do, but also that keeps assurance and insurance for them, for us, for the channel, for each individual kind of a component. So it's handy. There's just a lot of like red tape. We're getting through it. I've got my scissors. I'm ready.
Right. We're going on 3 hours here, so I think
we are. The thing before we went off on this little last tangent that I was trying to say is my most anticipated film for the year comes out tomorrow. Friday, really, but previews tomorrow. We've got Robert Pattinson and Bong Joon-ho's Mickey 17. Hopefully, 2025 sci-fi magnum opus comes out tomorrow. I'm seeing it in 40x.
It looks kind of fun. I think from the trailers, I kind of get the kind of humor it has, and I like it. I don't know if I'll see it in the theater, though. We'll see if I get around to see it in the theater. But
I'll let you know on Sunday if it's good or not, because I won't give you the QR code. That's my QR code, y'all. Wait, no, it only brought up the QR code. Just go back. There we are. We're going 40x with it. It's got to. At 3 p.m. I found the earliest screening possible. And my roommate was like, I'm going to go see it at 4:30. And it was like the 50 cents ticket. And I was like, oh, yeah, let me get that ticket. And then I saw it for like $8, $9, because it's usually like $28, $30. But you get your discounts and not so much. And at 3 o'clock.
Right. Well, the Oscars, we kind of touched on it on Sunday a bit, didn't we? I don't know. Maybe we'll do maybe on Sunday in our wanderings, we'll hit on that.
Just for the sake of it, I will give you my actual, because I talked about it and I kind of tried to not say the same thing over and over and over again, which I kind of will run the risk of doing here real quick. If we're going to get too much into that, this would be my recap. Here we are. This was my tweet. I said, pre-2019 and post-2019 Oscars are such separate entities, it's a shadow of what once was. This night was a huge win for indie films, and I'm ecstatic for that and stoked to see where it'll lead us in the coming years. Nonetheless, there's a standard that the Academy has held itself to for decades. That standard has not been present since 2019. The Oscars aren't for indie films, unless they stand out so far and above they're undeniably nominated for a reason. The Oscars is supposed to be for event films, not blockbusters, event films. If confused, just go look at pre- and post-2019 Best Picture nominations and winners. The Academy has rightfully begun to nominate a growing array of independent film, and as we reach a point in time when nearly all of the films are indies that have been nominated, I ask myself where our standard bearing is gone. None of this is to say a single thing against independent film. I love independent media and strive to work within it. That's what we're doing here, Again, nonetheless, our award shows should represent the best of the best. Our best of the best have clearly diminished since 2019. At an Oscars where multiple points of the event were dedicated to asking people to go to theaters and bring back friends and family again, well, it shows the state of film we're in if the biggest film-going community in the world has to plead with itself to support itself. Most recent event films, off the top of the head, for example, just to give you examples, are Dune 2, Wicked, last year Oppenheimer and Barbie were perfect examples. Pre-2019, every film was this level of film. They were just as quality films as the badass and beautiful indies of recent memory are. Plus, they had spectacle. They had awe. The more they made us question a concept or thought process, they more than made us question a concept or thought process. They truly inspired us. I can't stress enough how much I love just about every nominated film over the bunch of 2024 had plenty of legitimate greatness. I yearn for the days when we have more than one or two truly spectacular films grace the Academy, though. Again, in scale and breadth, not just quality. Give me Lord of the Rings, The Schindler's List, The Bravehearts, The Beautiful Minds, No Country for Old Men, The Oppenheimers, The Dunes, Ford vs. Ferraris, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, Parasites, Inglourious Bastards, Django Unchained, Dunkirk, Interstellars, Inceptions, Matrixes, Close Encounters of the Third Kind, Empires of the Suns, etc., etc., etc. I could list out these films for ages. Simply take a look at the nominations year after year, so on and so forth. Any merit to this thought process, or am I just a loon asking for standards Hollywood may have never had? Very long-winded way of saying that, but I feel like that is a recap for you right there. It's essentially the Oscars are now the Independent Film Awards, and the Independent Film Awards are amazing, but they're boutique, and the Oscars have become boutique. This is supposed to be for spectacle film, and we've lost that spectacle. I loved Anora. Anora is I really, really loved Anora. It's a really good movie. Really good movie. I've seen the entire plot of that movie in 4 episodes of Euphoria, 3 episodes of The Sopranos, 8 episodes of The Wire, 9 episodes of High Fidelity, this episode of this episode of that. It's not a story we haven't seen. Now, was the story told wonderfully and masterfully? Hell yeah. The fact an Oscar was given to it for Best Picture shows where we're at. And I have nothing to bad to say about Sean Baker. Sean Baker is one of the best filmmakers in the frickin' world right now.
Puke.
There's spectacle film, there's independent small film. If we continue to lower our standards, there won't be a SciTrek in 5 years. If there won't be any of these people in 5-10 years. Like the Oscars, obviously they're not the people we focus on all the time. They're not the people most of like fandom community like we tend to be involved in focus on. Nonetheless, they hold that standard for us, and that standard bearing has lost itself. And 2019, after 2020, essentially was when that happened. Of course, COVID, pandemics, et cetera, plus strikes don't help anything.
Right.
But
it's just been crazy the last, COVID just made everything crazy. Everything's been crazy since COVID. Or I'm not supposed to say that word, I suppose.
I don't think it matters as much anymore. It used to be, at least in the first 3 minutes, they would demonetize you or flag you or whatever real quick.
Right.
I think it's kind of okay now. We're entering the world of idiocracy.
Yeah.
Kind of what I'm saying, like in a sense of like,
that movie was a documentary.
Yeah, and that's besides the politics aspect of everything. Like, I'm not even touching on the politics aspect of anything. That is a much more complicated thing, and we could get into it from both angles, because neither angle's right and neither angle's wrong. Guess what? Compromise is 2 sides not agreeing on something. Welcome to existence. Like, it sucks sometimes. Great. Like, shoot, sorry. Don't know what else to tell you on that one. But nonetheless,
hopefully it set all these wild swings eventually calm down.
just middle out a little bit somewhere. I don't know. Yeah. But we are entering the world of idiocracy, and not politics aside, for the standard bearing of the projects and the art we watch, which the art has become content, and the content's not a bad thing. But when you treat art like content and vice versa, the James Bond stuff, that's what we're worried about. So on and so forth. That took 7 minutes overall to go through. Sorry. It was about a 4-minute tweet. Oops, it was a scroller there. I put it out in paragraphs just to make it easier on my own head there. Demolition Man needs a sequel so bad. We are at the crux of 84 and idiocracy. I hate how real that is. On that note, we're going to end it right now.
Yeah. All right. We've gone beyond rabbits. I don't know even where we're at right now, but We're so beyond
Now we're
rabbit.
complaining about Oscars.
We've traversed the rabbit hole to the other side of the earth.
The saying, when you dig a hole to China, I'm pretty sure the rabbit has done that for us, and we're just a few feet behind it, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Quantum rabbits. I lied. On that note, now we will end it. Before we hop out of here, anything else you want to say? Anything to anybody?
No, just have a good day. I guess we'll see you on Sunday. I don't know what category we're hitting on Sunday, but we'll let you know, I guess.
Yeah. Well,
where are we at? We did all original. Were we going to try to do original? Because we did best.
I don't know, because the TV stuff we'd kind of doubled up with that first week, and then the last two we've individualized. Bye-bye. Au revoir.
Didn't we do original already? Wasn't the first thing we did original, and then we did adaptive?
So I don't know exactly where we're going to be.
I don't think we want to get into the technical stuff, do we? Like cinema. Well, I don't know. Do we want to get into costumes? I don't know. That's getting a little deep. I don't know what else. What other? Oh, look. We'll have to. Jay will tell us. Just send a message to Jay. He'll tell us what we need to do.
Be like, what's the plan, Stan? What's the plan, Stan? Please, actually. Saw that. I had to. My bad.
Now I want to buy some and make it. It's like, the usual time
the other day,
I'm sure it'll be the usual 10:30 time, or that's where Pacific Ghost time, or whatever. I don't know what.
Yeah.
What is it? The GMT. I don't know what time that is.
Usually about 6 p.m. British Standard Time, I believe. Or are we in British Standard Time right now? I believe half the year is BST, and the other half is Greenwich Mean Time or something. I don't remember. Anyway, that gets us closer to 3 hours.
The usual time, whatever that is for you.
Precisely.
Yeah.
Daylight say, really? Already?
Yeah. Well, it'll be soon. Yeah, they have it a different. We don't have it like the same. Anyway, I just think get rid of all the time change crap altogether. Just forget it. It just makes things confusing. And then in Britain, they do it a month before us. And so then it's.
Well, and it really threw me off last year. It was when I started paying attention to it, when I was trying to label both. Because usually I just say PST just to keep it simple. It's like, all right, here you go.
Right.
But, sometimes label PST, then sometimes label BST. But for a long time, it was GMT, the Greenwich Median Time, whatever the hell it is. And then it was the double that. I'm just like, what is what? Just time is time, right? Do we need to what? I guess time isn't time, but anyway, like you said, just keep it simple, stupid. Apply KISS. It works. Keep it simple, and you're fine.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no. Well, we're 15 seconds away from it. We have hit that mark. Thank y'all so much for hanging with us this long. Yes. It's been a blast.
And tell her happy birthday from us.
Give her a big SciTrek happy birthday. Big SciTrek happy birthday and a big SciTrek hug. Mm-hmm. Just avoid any of the craziness of SciTrek and for those few moments. We have
unless you're into that.
Unless you're into that. Whatever you like. Damn it.
Whatever you do is, totally that's, whatever makes you happy.
Okay. But again, I guess that is all from us today. Friday, we got your Radical Wasteland podcast. Saturday, both Sarah and I are doing crazy different things in different parts. I guess the same section of the U.S. We're all in the West Side area. Mm-hmm. But one of us will be in Seattle doing fun stuff. One of us will be in, I guess two of us. Greg and I will both be in Good Springs, right outside of New Vegas, Las Vegas, whatever town it is. Yeah. And we will hopefully have some cool videos for y'all soon, shorts, all kinds of fun little things. I actually just got a bunch of AI clips that I think we've talked about the other day, downloaded from StreamYard, is allowing us to kind of clip some of these streams now. Right. So we'll hopefully have some clips from those first two award shows from the Chevron Awards, and any other clips that look good that came out from the AI clips. Yeah, I might see here soon.
We're this award thing. We're figuring it out. It's very loose. It's very maybe it's this, maybe it's that. Well, I guess we'll go with this. But we'll get there, and then we'll make this. We'll get it dialed in and do it every year for just that year's stuff.
Yeah, that's a fun way to start off the year. Like maybe do it all throughout January, February, and then as the Oscars hit, kind of do that kind of deal.
Right. Mm-hmm.
This is very true. It is loose. Well, I don't know. We're gonna end it on that note now. We love y'all so much. We appreciate y'all. Ziggy, put it on the calendar, and God, y'all go watch It's Always Sunny. The gang turns black. It's so funny. It's so bad. It's so funny.
It's circled back around, just like a Stargate.
We've hit. Was that 7 chevrons or 9 at this point?
I don't know. 10,000 chevrons.
All the above. One way or another. Once again, we appreciate y'all. Friday, Saturday, we're doing crazy stuff. So keep this week open and watch out for us. And we'll see you Sunday.
Bye.
Adios, y'all.